forgotten souls. Time will wait for no man, haunting stranger, the devil's hand, some mother's child never came home from the valley of forgotten souls. Dead of night, end of days, whispering hollow, rusted shame, rotted flesh, dead man's bones, in the valley of forgotten souls. All good things to him. Holy water, raise the dead. Angel's breath, cold as stone, in the valley of forgotten souls.
Tub.
slow. Lay me at the bottom of the river. The devil has come to carry me home.
Yeah.
Was a good episode I missed last time. I had a fun time writing up the recap.
Did you watch all of it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Also, how glad are you guys that I fucking looted and pack ratted the shit of every fucking dollar along the way.
I mean,
Somebody's
got to
do it.
Gear, yeah.
128 gold and 18 platinum.
And London is the real MVP for that.
Brendan, I like when you're just like, London, go exchange that. Done.
Yeah, how much did you... So when you watched the episode, did you see the... Like, do you know how much shits we got from what you had?
I didn't do the math, but I made a note to go back and confirm how much gold I have.
So, from what every
Besides London had, it was 204. And so then 154 from London. So what, 358? Then we spent 250.
So we should have 108 shits then left.
Cool.
Help if I turn my microphone on. I have a little bit of silver left over too. We didn't exchange.
I thought we were going to hold on to that because it's worth its weight in scrap.
Yeah, I mean, I still have 15 just in case we need it.
Yeah.
Jay.
So I had my Warhammer battle this weekend.
Sick. How's that?
Oh, yeah, it only lasted 5 hours.
Holy crap. Good old Warhammer.
Yeah, but...
this soul. Lay me at the bottom of the river. The devil has come to carry me home. Lay me at the bottom of the river. Oh my Lord, take this hand, save me from the gallows. Shed this news, bear my gold, lay me in the shallows. Evil come if you call my name, the wicked they shall rise. The river sand's gonna wash me clean if the river don't run dry. Oh my Lord, take this soul, lay me at the bottom of the river. The devil has come to carry me home. Lay me at the bottom of the river. Oh my Lord,
This one? Okay, and then music.
Sorry, Jay.
No. It's I'm just usually everything's all set up for me, and this time it was God damn it!
I do that all the time.
Eric, your name is still
Oh,
normal.
is it? Oh.
All right, you guys can hear me, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I could. The layout got a little screwed up, so we had to fix that. But now it's fixed, and everyone is good. Somebody talk, say something.
Test, test, test. Check,
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 check.
check.
Sounds good. Give me a roll. That looks like a roll to me. All right.
Always the 20s on the test rolls.
I swear to God.
That's a 12 and an 8, actually. So it's not that good.
Oh yeah, I got raw rolls. Yeah.
All right. Boom. This is over here. This is over here. Let me pull over that. And then the last thing I need is music, which is playing for you guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's not like super soft. It sounds pretty good.
It's a tad quiet for me.
Oh, I don't hear anything, but my headphones are kind of quiet. So.
Yeah, the music's still a little quiet.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Better.
Yeah.
All right. Eric, get out of the goddamn live stream. All right. So, is there anything else anybody want to talk about? I already pulled us to being live, so we've just kind of been we've been kind of hanging out because you can't edit anything in OBS unless it's actually like displaying on the stream. So we've all been hanging out there. I muted us for a little while, but anything else anybody wants to talk about? Is everybody all right? We're doing good? You guys excited to play some D&D?
Yes.
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, we know the deal about the obviously Chris knows the deal about the recap. So if you guys are ready, I can start recording.
Let's do it.
Yep. All right. I'm going to start recording in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to The Descent. Who wants to do the recap?
All right, I got it. Dear Faria, this is about the third straight day I've been so exhausted that this letter to you is about all I can muster. Today was full of excitement, though, as we finally made it to Fort Knucklebones. After learning all the rules and putting up with some low to medium levels of bullying from this positively ghastly character named Ragadraga, we finally got in. We met our way to the garage and met this interesting fellow named Gunnar, who seemed to be a warforged or something. He introduced us to his Kenku mechanics, who happened to recognize Lulu's voice. It triggered a vision sequence, but still no luck with that sword. The Kenku war gunner didn't know anything about its whereabouts. We unfortunately met Ragadraga again as he came into the garage unexpectedly to purchase a war machine, and eventually challenged Gunnar to a death race, which is exactly as it sounds in your head if you're imagining it. It was quite intense. The stakes, a war machine or Gunnar's core, the pit crew, second company. I was very nervous and hid behind Ophelia. Basically all of the exchange. Gunnar went around to show us the scrapper exchange, the canteen, the beast market. We ended up meeting the blister man and exchanging our scrap for these little chit things at a questionable rate. We also exchanged our gold for toes. We exchanged our gold for chits. And finally got to do a shopping montage. Turns out my incessant looting and pat racking finally paid off. Probably the most notable part of the day was when August got this sick cowboy hat. He looked really cool. We then convened for class, War Machines 101, but before long Gunnar was recruited by this Iron Fang racer named Snapjaw. He wanted to fix his rig, so he took us to his garage. On the way, we bumped into Rictus Grin, the guy who was going to purchase the War Machine before Ragadraga, and he was walking through the crowd like he owned the place. He must have been the sheriff or something. That's all for now. I'll write more later when I can. With all the love in all the planes, London and Django.
Okay. That was fucking awesome. Taking this version. And we can get into it. So let me pull you guys over to map. So, you guys are walking through the grasp, which is this large open area that surrounds the fingers in between the walls. There is a this Snapjaw character, a hobgoblin. He's kind of got scars and ratty fur, and his bottom jaw is made of iron. And he starts taking you guys towards the wall, it seems. Like he's leading you guys out of, where were you? Barterfinger, right? Yeah, at the canteen.
That's right.
So he starts walking you guys out of Barterfinger and towards the edge of the wall. And when you finally arrive, the Iron Fang's garage is inside the very walls of Fort Knucklebone. A hollow pocket left beneath the mountain of scrap that forms the fort's barricade. Its entrance is a massive roll door, barely holding together under layers of rust and crude reinforcements. A tattered banner bearing the Iron Fang's symbol hangs limply from the wall above. Inside the walls are just jagged heaps of metal pressed together, leaving narrow gaps where light spills through. And in the center is looming like a great beast in a cage is the Iron Fang war machine. So it's, again, it's essentially you guys are walking into where some scrap has kind of stacked together and created an opening. So it is very precarious walking underneath of it because it's literally just garbage that could fall on you at any moment. Some of it's got reinforcements like little posts and stuff drove into it to keep it from collapsing. But as you approach, is there anything that you guys wanted to discuss or talk about before you actually get there? Anything like that? That's fine.
I don't think so.
There are 4 other hobgoblins there, and they appear to all be brothers. There is the leader named Nash, and he wears a cowboy hat, like a black cowboy hat. That it's the kind that those like rockabilly rednecks wear, where it curls up on the sides. You know what I'm saying? And it has that sort of sharp point to it. That's the leader. And then there's a Razor Maw. He is the gunner. He is this really bulky, big one that carries around a big wrench over his shoulder. And Toothpick is the scrawny spotter in like a duster, you know, like a big trench coat. All of their names for some reason have something to do with mouths. So Nash, Razor Maw, Toothpick, Snapjaw. And as you guys approach, Nash, the leader, "Hey, Snapjaw, you're dragging scroungers," and all of the hobgoblins laugh. Snapjaw will say, "They're gonna take a look at the Fang, see if they can't work it out." And you guys will approach the garage, and I think Nash will even say, "Wait. Ain't this the fool," pointing at Gunner, "who stalled out at the starting line? You brought him? We're fucked."
What is with everybody? That was so long ago.
He's like, it was 4 days ago.
I know. Do you want me to fix this thing or not? I can take a look at it, but
if you think you can fix it,
I've got to see what's wrong with it first.
Yeah, Snapjaw will pat you on the back and say, shut your yapper. He works for the Magpies. You know, the Magpies. And they're all like, okay, all right, fine. And they go back to whatever they were doing, collecting scrap and moving stuff around the yard. So you can all head inside and see the Iron Fang. It's It is a Tormentor class, War Machine, and it's more sleek than, let's say, Gunners, right? It has a lower to the ground. These guys don't do a lot of fighting other machines. They're straight shooters. So you guys are more than welcome to take a look at it, even though I think most of you have no idea what you're looking at.
Well, I probably would grab Vin first and kind of walk over to the War Machine with Vin to help me, to kind of get some training wheels going. Do I see anything wrong with the War Machine just right off the bat?
So I think there are 3 steps to diagnosing the problem. The first step is a basic diagnosis or diagnostic. So check the battery, the, you know, like normal stuff for a car, even though these things don't have batteries, but checking all the normal stuff. And then once you sort of find an issue, step 2 is pinpointing. And then step 3 is fully grasping the what's wrong. So that is 3 separate checks.
Okay.
I'll be there for guidance, being like, just, I don't know much, but point me in the right direction. I can try and help.
You're the guy that's, well, the guys that know what they're doing are walking on the
holding
car.
the flashlight.
Yeah, and you got your hands on your hips, nodding your head like, yeah. Oh yeah, it does look like the schmigger. Yep, I agree.
Bless be of any use?
No, this is for bless is only for saving throws and attack rolls.
Okay.
So if you would like, Gunner, you can make an applicable check, and I will give you advantage since Vin is trying to help.
Sure.
Actually, you know what? Let's do it a different way. Vin, I want you to make a check, right? And when you get if you get a successful check, you can give him advantage, right? So it's you learning as you go.
That sounds great.
That's how it
Okay,
works in like
so-
Pathfinder or something too. If you have to like make a successful check. Okay.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I like that. So flat check for Vin.
Yes, but what kind of tools you got?
Oh, she's got a bunch. Let's see, cooks utensils, jeweler's tools, smith tools, thief tools, tinker tools. I imagine the
tinkerer sounds like what I'm looking for. So we gotta make a tinkerer's tools, and you can use your intelligence.
Yep, yeah, it's I'm trying to remember. Brendan said I have like that expertise because I'm an artificer, so we'll take it. Oh, bad roll, but the bonus.
Jesus, oh my God.
16.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, so you successfully are understanding the process of basic diagnosis, so you can give Gunner advantage.
Okay,
and then you also get a D4 for guidance. Gunner.
Okay. Do you want me to roll mechanics tools?
Yes.
Okay. At advantage.
Mm-hmm.
With intelligence.
Okay.
23 plus roll or D4.
No, that's fine. This is the basic diagnosis. The DCs get higher for the 3 steps. So the first step, you guys, blood, spark, the smoke shoots out the back. You're all looking over it. While that is happening, we kind of understand where August is at. He's nodding his head and got his hands on his hip at the front. What are the rest of you doing? So that would be Tanis, London, and Ophelia.
London would be watching Toothpick, seeing how skinny and scrawny he is, thinking, okay, if skinny, scrawny people can do this, will probably be my job in the future. So I'm just going to kind of watch him and see what he is doing.
Yeah, so you come to understand through the way that they all interact with each other that he is the youngest brother and the spotter, quote unquote spotter. That's his job. Okay. Tanis, Ophelia.
What kind of, this is a Tormentor class, what kind of weapon is mounted?
They have a harpoon on the back, and that's it.
They have a gunner.
Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm.
So I feel, I think I would just like go to, the gunner's name was
Razor Maw.
Razor Maw, thank you. And I'll just be like, you sit there and you just shoot at other people, or?
He explains that his role is to shoot people, shoot war machines, but a lot of the times his job is oh man, what are they called? The hellhounds are a nuisance that he has to deal with. And by that, by hellhounds, you assume he means another racing team that fuck with their machines and try to sabotage them and jump onto their machines, stuff like that. So he has to one-on-one combat those guys.
We're not gonna have a harpoon on ours, though, right?
You do.
Or what? We do have a harpoon.
Mhm.
I think. Okay, I'll just be like, look, I'm not gonna lie. We're going up against Ragadraga in a few days. I don't know if you heard.
Oh no, he hasn't. But that's interesting. Ragadraga hasn't lost a race in a long time. Probably the last 6 races.
So, look, you want to show me how to use this thing by chance? You got a couple of minutes?
Sure, he does. He can. Yeah. Yeah, he can get up there and show you how to do it.
When Tanis mentions this, what's the reaction? Like, do people like Ragadraga?
Oh no, this guy hates Ragadraga.
Okay. Oh, so that's why he's helping.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy hates Ragadraga. The Ragadraga's machine is big, and his tactics rely on like tearing apart other machines while, like smashing into machines and driving over them and stuff. So a lot of what they have to do is avoid Ragadraga, right?
He doesn't do the racing. He just wins by being the last man standing.
Well, he does the racing too. In fact, I have like a list of rumors. While he's helping you, teaching you how to load the harpoon and stuff like that, he'll say, Ragadraga, the way I heard it, he's got a blood pact with the Archduchess. I swear it. He never breaks down, never loses a race he ain't meant to. He's placed in the top the past 6 death races. Doom runs, he'll say, actually, not death races, doom runs.
So he sold his soul to the Archdevil just to win?
He'll say, stranger things have happened.
Any other good rumors you know about this guy, or?
Not any other ones other than that. The fucker thinks he owns the track. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll just spend my time
Yeah.
just working.
No, that's great. Thank you.
Razormaw.
Yeah. Can you take an inspiration? That's a clever use of time. What about you, Ophelia?
There's not much about the War Machine she would probably know about.
Okay.
But being from Baldur's Gate, she would know that there is piracy out in the trading lanes of the Sword Coast.
Okay.
And she thinks, she thinks about if there are possibilities of boarding another war machine and essentially causing havoc.
Oh, yeah.
Sabotaging it while it's running, are there any special tools maybe, or any things that she could focus on?
For sure. So you could talk to Nash. He's like chewing on like a piece of hell wheat or whatever, and yeah, he can answer any questions you have. But yeah, back when they were in the Scrap League, there was this team called the Ash Rats, and that's their whole tactic, is to hijack other machines, like kill off the other racing team and just steal their machine.
And while she wouldn't know the mechanics, she might pick Nash's brain about, what are the important bits of the machine that
Sure.
You jam a hammer into.
Yeah, he
might
can
fuck
he
things
can
up.
help explain some stuff to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get you got the basic diagnostic done, Gunnar and Vin and August. You're starting to pinpoint that you think it's some sort of ignition issue. Like the spark isn't working very good. So you can try to pinpoint it. So why don't you go ahead and Vin, make a check to see if you can help. Help Gunner.
There we go.
Jesus,
25.
no problem. Then Gunner, you can go ahead and make your check with advantage and another guidance, I imagine, because August is sitting there.
Holding the light.
Yeah, holding the line.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
All
Yep.
right.
Yep. You beat the DC for that one.
Okay.
So you have a feeling that it has something to do with the spark. So you actually crawl underneath of the machine and are trying to show Vin like the way that the engine works. And I can explain it just real briefly to you. There are two separate chambers. There's what's called the furnace, and then there's the core. So the furnace, you drop a soul coin into the furnace. The furnace is just a furnace, and it burns the ever-living shit out of this soul, right? Or melts the soul coin and extracts the soul. And then there are soul injectors that push the soul through into the core. And the core is where the pistons are and, you know, all this other stuff. Also, this machine is a V18. So there's 18 cylinders in this bitch.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So the core then also has a firing combustion aspect to it as well, and that's what burns the soul up, and then it has those mini explosions, right? So you have a feeling that it's either a spark in the furnace or a spark in the combustion core that's not working properly. So why don't you go ahead and make me that last check to understand or Vin first.
Okay.
Wow. Yep. Okay. This one's a little tougher, by the way, than the other ones. Good. You can go ahead and make it with advantage, Gunner. Jesus. Okay.
Wow.
I even wrote
Pays to
down
be a mechanic.
I wrote down things for what would happen if you fail, and there was like you could loosen apart and fix it if you fail. You could accidentally actually break something minor and just sleight of hand fix it, or if you break 3 things in a row, it's like you break something big. But you guys, without just any issues, DC 20 resolved the issue, and this is why he called you. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Mr. Fix It.
Yeah, so you, Vin and Gunner are underneath of the machine, and August, do you have the light cantrip? Yeah, you do, because you're an Asmar, right? So I imagine August is just sitting crisscross with his hand underneath, just shining a light for you guys. And Gunner, you discover that the faulty part is what's called an ignition control actuator. It is a black iron device that has sigils of infernal magic fused into it. It regulates the spark required to ignite and sustain the combustion of the core. And it's like a little black iron box that must be this big that sits on the side of the engine. It's easily accessible right where you're at. The thing is, with your fucking DC, with your 28, you notice a couple things about this actuator. First of all, the outer casing is cracked and warped. The infernal glyphs, which should be glowing faintly, are dead, completely inert. And there's a faded chalk marking on the part that suggests that it came from the Scrapper's Exchange. So this part was possibly recently sold or traded.
Like they bought it from the Scrappers Exchange?
Yes.
Okay.
The weird thing is, jammed into the chassis above the faulty part is another ignition control actuator. And as you reach your hand up in there and pull it out, this one appears to be glowing just fine.
Interesting. Like it's working.
Yeah.
Why would there be two?
The other
would
one
there
was
be two
just
of
like
these?
jammed up inside of the machine, right? Like
Yeah.
it wasn't attached to anything.
That's interesting. Okay. I relay all this to Vin, and as I'm also teaching like how to do some of this stuff. Okay, well, I guess I'll put the one that's working back.
It's gonna take some time. You might want to.
Sure.
Yeah. Like it's a whole like, but you can take the
like,
one
to put it
off
back.
easily.
Okay.
Just to show them what's wrong with it if you'd like.
Sure, yeah. The one that's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's yeah, I'll take that off for sure.
Okay. Snapjaw hears you working under there. He's like, what's going on?
Yeah, Snapjaw. I take both of the control actuators out, and I'm like, I'm not sure what we have going on, but it looks like there's this is what a good actuator looks like. See these glyphs right here? They're glowing.
Mhm.
It looks like everything's working all right. But this one, as you can see, the glyphs don't appear to be glowing.
He's really confused.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's busted on it, but this seems to be the problem.
Well, ain't that a pile of piss and brimstone? I cannot believe you figured that out. But the ignition control, though? I've never seen one just give out before. Those things don't just quit on you. The runes keep it burning near forever.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure what's going on here. I saw some chalk markings on it, like you had bought it from the Scrappers Exchange.
We ain't swapped ours out since we got the thing. They don't just go out. They're magic items, basically. Like they're essentially like a magical component.
Well, I hate to say this, but somebody's either gotten under here and done this, or it came with a faulty one.
Yeah, Nash will say, I ain't the smartest gob on the garage, but something don't sit right about this. That actuator ain't ours, and we sure as hell didn't replace it.
Somebody probably sabotaged you here.
Toothpick is sitting on top of the machine with London, and he's like, I told you, it's sabotage. Straight up. Same thing happened to Gentle, the Brazen Bull. He's been out of the furnace for a little while now and just bought his own war machine. And right before the last Doom run, his machine wouldn't start. Damn thing was stripped. And nobody knows who did it. He was set to win, too. And he wasn't the only one who lost money on it. And Nash nods. Yeah, I heard he got so mad he rampaged through the Scrappers Exchange, trying to kill the Blister Man. Ended up back at the Gallows Walk again.
Do you have any idea who could be behind this? I mean, not to point fingers, but Ragged Drag has been on my butt ever since. So,
they all kind of shake their heads like they don't make a lot of enemies, you know. And Snapchat will say, "Hey, Gunner.
Yeah.
You stalled out at the starting line of the last Doom run, didn't you?"
I did.
What went wrong with your rig? So you would know that your soul intake manifold was bent. It made it to the track, but eventually it got clogged and shut down.
Yeah.
You probably assumed that maybe a rock had flown up and dented it or something. But sabotage is very possible.
I'll even take the new one out because I have it like in my pack or whatever. I've got the new one. I'm trying to replace it, but looks like the old one went out, which doesn't happen very often. But I'm wondering if I had the same issue as you.
Snapchat will say, methinks having a complete unknown motioning to you place would have upset some pretty high roller gamblers. And the Fang's odds are looking pretty good for this race, considering the Gilded Reapers aren't competing. Maybe someone's got a reason to make sure that you and I don't run come race day.
Well, who else is in this race?
You'd have to check at the Ledger House.
Okay.
But either someone here is picking off racers, or we're both miraculously unlucky, and ain't many miracles happening down here.
I doubt it's the second one. Well, question: does it literally would it be just we're swapping out his control actuators, like putting the good one in and just ripping the old one
Yeah.
out, ripping the not working one out?
Yeah, pretty much. You'd have to attach like a few more things to make it
Sure.
like nice and
Yeah.
proper, but yeah.
Well, I'll communicate that with Snapjaw and just tell him.
He's a mechanic too.
Yeah.
The thing is, you guys were rolling 25s and 23. He was rolling like 15, 16, 17, you know?
Yeah.
So
What a loser. Oh my god.
Yeah. Really numbers. Well, I'll just I'll tell him, it looks like this is your problem. And just keep an eye on your rig. You don't want to stall out like me on the starting line.
he asked you to just hang out for a minute, and he's going to go talk to the rest of his crew for a minute.
While he does that, Vin will actually turn to Gunnar and be like, well, you're saying your stall is like in the past tense, but it could happen again. We got to keep tabs on the machine. There's a spell I could cast on it at nighttime that might help alarm us to anyone rolling into the machine's vicinity when they shouldn't be. But that's about all I can do.
Honestly, the Kinku might be fond of that as well. Just this is Fort Knucklebones, and even though we're not supposed to be fighting, things happen, and so that might be worth our while.
Maybe no fighting, but at least we could be alerted to it and try to resolve things peacefully, get them away.
Yeah.
But the spell doesn't do anything flashy. It just tells me if someone's going there when they shouldn't be.
No, that'll be very helpful.
Gunnar, this sabotage, there's no synonym for that up on the rule board. This is all above book if you can get to someone's vehicle.
No, that's cheating.
I'm looking. No, there's a lot of things that goes down in Fort Knucklebones, but you can't just come up and not and cause somebody's machine to not work.
Right. You can do it on the field. You can do it on the track. You can rip someone's machine apart on the track, but you can't do it beforehand.
Right. The track does decide, and the track there's very limited or no rules on the track, but you can't just cause somebody's machine not to work out of the gate.
That seems so reasonable, and there's logic to it. I'm very surprised.
Me too.
Question: you said that there was chalk markings from where it was purchased at the Scrappers Exchange. I mean, if we brought this part back to them, could they tell us who bought it? Is there some sort of history?
Well, we might be able to. Am I able? I'll talk to Snapjaw. Snapjaw, can I? Or maybe is he still in
he's
the area?
discussing with his guys.
I'll
well, hold on.
raise up
He's gonna come back to you in a second.
Okay. Yeah, I think we could probably take it back and see who bought it.
So, go ahead.
Is there any record of who places bets? Is that recorded somewhere? Is it possible to find who's put large sums of money against you and against these fellows?
Yeah, it should be. I believe the Scrappers Exchange takes significant notes on who buys what.
Yeah. And betting, it would be easier to locate who bought the part than it would be to who's betting on what, because betting is a enormous culture here. Like gambling is massive, especially on the War Machine races. It is a huge part of the culture. So literally every single person in Fort Knuckle Bones was probably betting on something. So it's hard to say. But I think Snapjaw's going to come back.
Okay.
And he'll say, all right, I talked to the rest of the Iron Fangs, and here's the deal. And he hold out the soul coin that he offered you before. You take this, and we can call it even. You figured out the problem, and that's worth paying for. So we'll hold that out to you.
I'll take it.
But something stinks about this. If someone's rigging races and sabotaging racers, it don't stop with just us. Someone's got a game going, and I want to know if we're playing or getting played. So here's the deal. I got another soul coin with your name on it, if you can get to the bottom of this. And a bonus one if you can figure it out before the next Doom run.
Snapjaw, I hold open, or I hold up the broken box actuator, and I ask him, do you mind if I take this?
He don't even know where the part came from.
I think, especially with the help of my friends here, I think we might be able to do that for you and for us. I think we can get to the bottom of this, and I think we need to if you want to stay in business and I want to beat this race. So,
well, I got some soul coins in it for you, but if you can find this bastard, maybe you can find yourself an ally on the track. Might even let you get second place.
You know what? I'll take. I hold out my hand.
Yeah, he'll spit in his hand.
I'll shake it.
Yep.
And say we do find this person, the only real way to resolve it would be on the track, correct?
He said, if you want to let me know, me and the Iron Fangs here can take care of it. And he's like, and leave it at that. Don't ask me any more questions.
I'm from Baldur's Gate.
So he will say, you know, if you guys have a lead of your own, you can investigate that. He knows that if the part was bought, the Scrappers Exchange keeps good books, so they might be able to tell you who bought it. But there's or you could talk to another person that got burned. Gentle is a Minotaur racer. I hear he got locked up again, but they have him loading the lift station in Blackfinger. You might be able to get a word with him. He might have something to say about this.
Sorry, he was locked up where?
He is working the furnace, quote unquote, but lucky for you guys, he's not in the furnace. He's working the lift station in Blackfinger.
Which is what goes to the furnace, right?
Correct.
Like
There's like a cable car aerial lift system.
Well, it looks like we need to pay a visit to Blackfinger, to this Gentle.
Maybe we should go to Scrappers Exchange first, see if we can get a name for the part.
Twice.
I will tell you guys one thing. As far as adventuring days go, you guys are running into exhaustion territory. Even though there is no sun or there's no night, it's basically like 11 o'clock midnight for you guys right now. You stayed up way past bedtime. So you are looking at needing a long rest here pretty soon.
Well, what we could do is we could hold up in the. I've got a place at the garage, at the Kinku's garage, and maybe we start fresh in the morning.
Just before we get to the garage, I just want to put it out there that, if we're dealing with sabotage, we can't rule anybody out yet, including the Kenkus. They're some of the most trusted mechanics around here, from what I can tell. And so they'd have easy access and no suspicion. I'm saying somebody could have gotten to them, not saying that they're, bad folks. And if the head honcho looking guy was around the other time buying war machines out from Raga Draga,
well,
there's an opportunity for someone powerful to have put them up to it.
That's true. I trust the Kinku with my life, and I will try to be unbiased in this situation. But I can tell you that the Kinku, I don't believe they could do that, something like that.
Oh no, you would actually be. Maybe not about this situation, but if you were a target too, remember we talked about the Kenku put you up for the Doom Run.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, they staked a shitload of chits on you to run in the Doom Run.
Yeah. So they couldn't sabotage.
Yeah, they wouldn't have want to sabotage you.
Yeah.
Right, because they staked their shit on you.
Right.
Okay.
Now, if they sabotage somebody else,
right, I can't speak. Yeah, right, I can't speak for that.
But
either,
I can guarantee you, they're not sabotaging my war machine.
Right.
Not when they put up money for me. But we can at least look into it.
That is a lot more comforting knowing they had something to lose on you. So
yeah.
Okay, so what's the plan? You guys want to go back to the Magpies?
Bedtime.
I think so.
Okay, so you leave the Iron Fang's garage. They wish you luck and that they hope they see you soon. You did get one good soul coin out of it, high quality soul coin. So you do have that. Okay. But they're offering one more to figure it out. 2 more if you can do it before the Doom Run. The Doom Run is in 6 or 7 days, give or take. It's hard to tell days around here. So 6 or 7 days.
Okay. All right, I will start to lead them back. Unless anybody wants to do anything else here, I'll start to lead them back to the Magpie's garage.
Fresh day tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, before bedtime, Vin will make good on her word and ritually cast a little alarm around the... and I guess she'll... I assume, depending on, sleep schedules and stuff, Gunnar or the Kenku might still be working on it while the alarm's up, so she'll, after what Gunnar said about the Kenku, she believes him, and she'll, designate them not to be detectable by the alarm.
Okay. So you guys make your way through Rustfinger. We'll say, War Machine themed, finger. And, you can make your way into the Magpies garage. The Magpies are currently working on a war machine that was brought in for them to, their normal business. And, one of the, Chukka is standing next to Clunk, who is working underneath, and he sticks out his hand for from underneath the machine to reach for a part, and Chukka takes a part, tosses it to him, lands in an oil pan, and Chukka and Clunk immediately tackle each other and start beating the shit out of each other on the ground over that, and they're rolling around on the floor, and they roll past you guys and then notice you and stop and jump up And like, the fuck do you want? You know, like how that's how they've only ever been greeted in their entire lives. So that's how they greet others. But yeah, in the back cave is like this really fucking wild junk heap where there's like scaffolding that goes across the walls and there's parts stacked high and there's war machines. This is like where they build the new war machines and Gunner's war machines back there. And there's hammocks leaned across the or set up across the walls and stuff. So you guys are more than welcome to sleep in this area.
Perfect.
We've had worse.
London goes up. He'll say to Django, just make sure you stay out of trouble, okay? And immediately Django goes over to the Cancun, starts like fucking around with them, and like gets toppled into like an oil pan. Now there's oil everywhere,
Yes,
and the
yes.
three of them are just like,
Yes. That sounds about right.
we'll clean that up in the morning for you, Gunnar. Sorry about that.
That's okay. They've cleaned up worse messes.
Do you sleep, Gunner?
I was actually just about to talk to Vin about this. I sort of sleep. I have to basically shut myself down to reboot overnight or when I sleep. And I can still hear and see things that are happening around me, but I have to be inactive for a certain amount of time, or my parts just kind of wear out, and the rest of the day just isn't very good. So, yeah, I kind of sleep.
Do you
She looks
dream?
towards Vin to see if this makes sense. 'Cause it's
Do I dream? I'll say I kind of dream. I have my thoughts. That's about it. I don't necessarily dream like you folk do, but I have my thoughts to myself, and I keep myself occupied.
Have you ever been in love?
Love. What's that again?
He's done that several times recently, so he's just asking a lot.
I don't think Gunner would know what love really is.
He's from hell.
He's from a mechanical world that had no emotion, and now he's in hell. So he has the worst of
The
worst.
only thing he knows is law.
Yeah, exactly. Good or bad.
Yeah.
What about oh, go ahead.
I was just making a stupid joke. Go ahead.
What about if you don't mind me asking, what's the name again? Lou?
I'm Lulu.
Yeah, what's up with Lulu? Who are you? What are you?
I'm a flaming fist under of second company under the command of Roland. Right? Is that what it is? She said some official title that she knows exactly what it is. She doesn't remember.
That's a mouthful. That's
Second
for sure.
company under Man Up Roland. That's what it is.
What are you? If you don't mind me asking.
She'll say, I'm a Holophant.
All right. Tell me like I'm 5 here. What?
You know how, do you know about Mount Celestia?
New rumors, sure.
I'm from there. At least I think I am. My kind are. That's what she'll say.
How did you end up here?
She looks towards you guys.
We've been trying to figure that out.
Interesting.
We met up at a city called Candlekeep, and she offered assistance in our trip to the Hells.
Well, here you are. What? Also, if you don't mind me asking, when you first got here, what was that thing that happened? You started glowing and floating, and August, I think, was floating too.
Yeah.
Something crazy. I just didn't question it. I've seen a lot in my time. What was that all about?
Magically unlocking repressed memories.
Oh,
And that's putting it simply.
Do you not have that where you're from?
Does that happen all the time?
It was a second time? Second, right?
Yeah. Lulu say, well, he does bring up a good point. We haven't really talked about what happened.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping it'd be, a bit like last time, where it's like, all right, we got a location out of that. But
Well, what did we get? Like, let's go ahead and debrief that for everybody.
So it started where they were in like a sack of sort with fluid around them.
Yeah.
And they broke out of it. And then they were crawling through the desert, and as they were dying, the Kenku found them, brought them back to their cave, revived them, and then Lulu had this feeling that she was like, I have to go and find who needs me. I don't know who it is or where they are, but I have to go. And then they left, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the Kenku have Lulu's voice. And I think at some point, the Kenku have, the magpies have just figured out how they're going to tell you. So they draw a bird-looking person on a piece of tin with a rusty nail, and it's like a bird person. And then they draw a bird person in a dress, and they draw a plus sign between those. And then they draw arrows downwards, and they draw another bird person.
yeah, they're the children of the Kenku.
Oh, then they do it again a third time.
Oh shit.
Oh.
And
So
then they
the
draw
house where
Chukka and
Kenku
Clunk,
come from.
right? Where Chukka's got the mask on and Clunk has a wrench.
So you were here a long time ago, Lulu.
I don't remember. I don't remember everything, but I remember how I felt.
The biggest thing I got from the second round of visions is I have the feeling you've lost your memory twice. At least twice.
That's very astute, Brendan.
Why is it so important that Lulu gets memories back? I mean, besides the obvious, what can you learn from it?
This is the part we're hesitant to share.
Yeah, it's a tall ask.
I mean, we don't doubt that you can help, Gunnar, but let's be honest, we just met you.
Of course, no, I understand.
We can at least tell you this. When we were in the cantina and Savvy knew about the city that had been being dragged down, we kind of are trying to undo that.
Among other things, but yes.
And Lulu's memories would help this? Would help with this?
We once knew where something that would fix that would be, and we're trying to find that thing.
Oh, wait a minute. You guys are helping me with this death race, right? If we win, or at least get close, you guys have heard about Mad Maggie, right? I've kind of talked about her a little bit.
She's the leader, isn't she? Or she holds some sort of power here.
Yeah, she built this place. I think, at least from rumor, I think she can read people's minds. At least that's what I've been told. I don't know if that would help any, but I've heard that she can pry memories from people's minds. Would that help?
Sounds forceful. What do you think about it, Lulu? It's your memories.
It's like I'm trying to read a storybook, but I only get one page at a time. And they're all out of order. Some pages are missing and some don't make sense. And most of the time, I don't even know if I'm holding it right side up. So anything
Lulu,
could help.
What if Maggie was able to somehow put those pieces in order for you?
Right, let's fill in the blanks.
I don't know if that would help at all, but it would be a start.
I've never met this Maggie, so I don't know if she's to be trusted.
I mean, I don't doubt its usefulness, but do we really want someone rooting around in Lulu's memories?
Yeah, I'm afraid of somebody finding out what Lulu is, trying to kill all of us, kidnap her, and sell her to the highest bidder.
Or she discovers what we're after and gets to it first.
How much do I trust Mad Maggie? I mean, I've never met
no,
her.
she's like a force of nature. You have no idea.
Yeah, that's what I think.
From what you guys have heard, or Gunnar specifically, what you have heard is like nobody's seen Maggie. Well, they see her at the Doom Run, but like
Nobody
she
talks
doesn't
to her.
cut. Nobody talks to her. She gets materials and supplies aerial lifted into her tower. She's more of like a force of nature, a personality that exists everywhere all at once. Some rumors of her are good and some are not so good.
Yeah, I haven't shared those yet. Well, I never said it would be the safe option. That's just the rumors that I've heard. I don't know if it's a good idea, but if it's really so important, you have to do something.
If that's the only source of our only lead, we might have to, but August brings up a very, very valid point. Being the highest bidder for that information is not someone you want on their bad side.
Well, I know that Torm brought us here for a reason. And if the magpies were a dead end, maybe, I don't know, maybe we're not seeing the whole picture.
Well, maybe we were brought here to help the magpies. And only after their situation is resolved, maybe we get something more. It certainly can't be random chance you got that memory.
I do think an audience with Mad Maggie would be fruitful regardless, because it sounds like she's the one who evicted the old magpies in the first place.
Oh, no, the magpies make it clear that they're just the last left.
Or not like evicted, but like
Made a deal?
the magpies were here and then Maggie showed up. and started building this place.
Correct.
So she probably remembers them.
Yes,
That is true.
that is very true.
If we take care of Ragged Draga, do you think that'll be enough to get Mad Maggie's attention?
Oh, for sure.
If a bunch of primies show up and win their first race, that's going to get attention.
Against Ragged Draga? Yes. And August, I think you're right. Even if we don't want her going around looking in Lulu's dreams, it might just be worth talking to Mad Maggie. I've never even talked to her, so maybe this death race is an in at least, and maybe we can get a feel for her when we get there.
Like, I mean, I'm sure most of the folks in the Grasp have never seen a depiction of the Great Wheel, but I feel like Mad Maggie might know what Lulu is on site.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
If she doesn't already know that Lulu is here and
True.
know exactly what Lulu is already, and
I mean, I have
since
her
we're standing
magically
here
warded.
talking. Oh, okay. I don't know if that matters.
Yeah,
to
just as
Maggie.
true. They could just be scrying on this whole conversation.
Do you know if Mad Maggie has any alliances with Zariel?
Do I know?
Why don't you make me a history check? Because I can see the rumor for that. I have like a bunch of rumors. Also, if you guys ask around town, just any information, if you want to do like a basic ask around town, I have a fuckload of rumors.
Okay. I'll for now do a history
Yeah, go ahead.
check.
Oof.
No idea.
Ooh, I have no inspiration. Okay. No, I have no idea. We might look around and ask some people if they've heard some things tomorrow.
We know for sure. We know for sure Ragged Draga has sold his soul out to her, right?
You've heard that. You've heard that. You don't know if that's true or not.
That was just something Snapjaw said, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's already at the top of Ophelia's shit list, so he's gonna die one way or the other. But
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
What happens when you kill a warlord? Is it like their gang is just disbanded, or are we like the leader of the werevulture people now? I don't know.
Imagine the same thing that happens when you kill a gang leader in Baldur's Gate.
Correct.
Random question. What happens if you pour holy water into the engine of a infernal war machine?
You don't
Nos.
don't speak about that around here. What would actually happen? I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't want to try.
Honestly, I don't think
Like,
anyone in Fort Knucklebones knows.
Like putting petrol in a regular.
Yeah, I think
gas
you would
engine.
totally fuck that engine up.
or huck a bunch of silver coins into the air filter. It's worth experimenting.
I got 2 bottles for when we're on the track. If we want to find out then.
We could find out that way.
As you guys are sitting in this chamber, it is lit by electricity, right? Like little burning light bulbs. And all of you will hear this hum buzz noise. And the lights flicker and dim and then go dark.
That normal?
I believe I would know that the furnace is what's keeping the electricity on, right?
Correct.
And so they're done for the night, I'm assuming.
Oh no, it's supposed to never turn off. And then
Okay.
not, but like as you're about to explain it, it hums and buzzes and flickers and cuts back on.
Okay. I'll say that was weird.
So you do know actually that this has been happening lately. The electricity and the furnace will just shut off for a couple minutes and then flicker and get back on.
Do I know why?
Make a history check. I'll see if I can give you another rumor.
I have a +6, man.
You're not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'll relay. It's been happening. Has been happening for a while now.
Maybe like
for a while.
Yeah, like 2, 3, 10 days.
Okay. It's not normally supposed to do that. That stuff's supposed to stay on indefinitely.
What runs the furnace? Is it like the same thing that runs the engines? Is it souls? I mean,
I don't know if you actually know the answer to that, Gunnar.
I can tell you we had talked about it, but I don't know if I'm supposed
Make
to.
another history check.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey.
So you do know about this. So the furnace works a little differently than war machines do. So the furnace, what it does is they have this thing inside the furnace or nearby it called the flesh pit. And what they do is put corpses of demons into the flesh pit. It mulches them up and refines their ichor into a fuel source. And that fuel source gets funneled into the furnace. And that's what the furnace burns, is demon ichor. Demon ichor is highly volatile.
So, I like it better than soul coins.
Is it cheaper than soul coins, technically? Demon ichor?
No. Yes.
No?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I
But you
assumed.
can't run an engine on it. It is a miraculous thing that this furnace works like this.
Okay.
Extreme ingenuity and invention has gone into this furnace.
Well, I mean, I can't rightly know unless I saw it, but demon ichor not used in the engines, kind of chaotic, unreliable, and maybe that's why the lights are going out.
So demon ichor is used in engines. And Gunnar, you would actually have a fuel injection system for this. Demon ichor is NOS. Is nitrous. So your machine constantly runs on soul coins, but if you've put demon ichor in there, they put them in nice pressurized canisters. And if you put demon ichor into one of these canisters and fuel it, inject it into your engine, it's like I said, highly volatile. It can just detonate your engine if you're not like using it correctly. But yeah,
I'm
it
assuming I
gives you a
would know
boost.
that is not why the lights are flickering.
Right.
Like that wouldn't be the reason why, because it's highly volatile. Yeah, I don't know what could be causing it. Maybe a lack of demon ichor on hand. I know that Mad Maggie outsources some of that stuff for demon ichor, but I don't know if there's some kind of feud going on or what.
Said the obvious. War machines are getting sabotaged. Used to say the furnace isn't.
That's a possibility.
Like a bit of a jump, though. I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong, but that's kind of like the difference between taking off a cartwheel and poisoning the water. I mean, you're taking down an entire city if these magical things stop glowing.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be very helpful for them to sabotage the furnace for the place that they live in either. I don't know.
But if you're prepared for it and your enemy isn't,
could be a good bargaining chip. That's for sure.
The furnace provides two essential things to the Fort Knucklebones. It provides electricity and it provides fresh water. They have a water distilling plant in Blackfinger where they sell water rations. Basically, every creature that you've encountered so far, goblins, hobgoblins, bugbears, ogres, everybody, they all need water. And you can't drink the sticks. So if the furnace goes out, you not only do you just lose electricity, which is lights, which is essentially not the most useful thing in the world because it's always sunny, but you lose water, which is essential.
And I'm assuming you folks need water to survive? Gunnar asks.
I mean, we'll be fine without the water here. We have our own means.
I could find a consistent source of ale. I could use that. But
I think
second that.
Tannis has his the devil's flask open. Drain the last little bit from his earlier.
I mean, what about you, Gunnar, though? We talked about sleeping. Do you consume anything? Any kind of fuel for yourself?
Nope. And he kind of like pats his stomach and like this. I just run off of oil and war machines. I think my rest, my deactive state has something to do with that. But no, I don't drink water like you folks.
What about I don't know, when you get injured, I don't know, do you fix yourself? Or I mean, when we get wounded, August usually patches us up with magic. What is that? What with you?
As you say that, I open my arm and this little mechanical bearded dragon comes like scurrying across my armor. I say I actually have this little fella to help me. This is Sprocket. I built him when I first got here. I built him to help me with some projects, and if I get injured, if I fall off something, if somebody hurts me, Sprocket's usually there to help me out. And but I've got my own tools and things to fix myself.
Gunnar, London has this little dog-sized dragon black dragon that follows him around. Usually resting on his shoulder or in his backpack. It was kind of sitting in London's lap and will immediately tackle you to get to this thing. And it's not like he's trying to attack it. He's trying to like smell it, like he's trying to what is this thing? What is it? You know what I mean?
Two dogs that desperately want to play.
Yeah, so you get tackled by Django who's brr, brr, like sniffing at this thing.
Sprocket goes into not necessarily like attack mode, but defensive mode. Sprocket grows like 5 times in size.
Yeah, like a transformer. Parts start to
like a dog size bearded dragon.
Yes.
And is now starts playing with Django.
Cool. Django bites into him and doesn't do anything because he's made of metal, so it's like
takes it.
Yeah.
I'm like, Sprocket, get off, get over here. And he transforms back down into a little bearded dragon.
London, I thought you said you were going to train Django.
I tried the best I can. He hasn't been overly unruly. Oh, look, he's making a friend in little Sprocket there.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting along just fine.
They crash into a shelf and all the war machine parts fall off.
He's attacked all of our hosts.
Nah,
that is true.
Sprocket will take it.
Man, as the lowest ranking member of this team, London's definitely on cleanup duty too. There's
Sure.
no way I can.
The magpies are losing their shit. They're like, oh my god, saying shit that people would say to them, fuck you, you bastard,
It's like, I have prestidigitation, but we need to teach Django personal responsibility.
So you guys said you were part of the Flaming Fists. Do you guys have ranks or something? Is London? Are you the highest ranked here?
We're all pretty much the same. At the top.
No, actually, London's very modest. He and I are actually at the top.
That's right, Ben. That's right.
It starts at
That
the
makes
top and
sense.
just goes higher.
August here is our team captain and leader, and the rest of us have roles to fill on the team.
August
Well-
is known as our gauntlet. Tanis is first rank. I am second rank. Vin and London are bog standard fist, I suppose they say.
Interesting. Well, it's good to have a team, I guess.
I'll explain how legally arresting someone works in the second company as well.
Shoot him.
After proclaiming.
It's not too far off from official flaming fist procedure.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Flaming Fist is a large. We're like the police force of those little things.
Or the
with
the red caps.
Yeah, those things. We're basically them from where we come.
Oh,
Much less intimidating though.
keep the peace and everything.
Them too.
Try.
Something like that.
Usually haggling or hassling drunks and vagabonds on the street. Not so exciting in Baldur's Gate.
We come from these laws. I mean, there is the same laws, but they're not nearly as well enforced.
Mm.
Commonplace.
Sounds like a hard way to live.
I mean, the way we're describing it isn't charitable, but it's much better than this place.
I don't think it's too bad here.
The air hurts your face here.
I only hope you never learn about any other way. Because if you have to come back here after that,
This is the only way I know, unfortunately. Well, actually, there's a worse way, and I've been there, and I'm not going back there.
What's that?
Oh, before I came to Avernus, I came from Mechanus, which is it's another plane that's where I was built. And every being, every soul, every fiber of the plane is just law, and you're not allowed to feel anything. You're not allowed to have emotions. You're not allowed to say no. And unfortunately, that makes this place look way better. And I'd rather be here. Where there's law, but it's good law. It has its own ways, and it has its own.
It's law with reason.
Yeah, it's law with reason. It's not perfect, but that's the point. You don't want to see what perfect looks like.
How did you switch planes?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but basically, every I don't know, it's a couple hundred years, the Modrons in the Mechanus plane, what they'll do is they'll actually start marching through the planes to enforce their perfect system. And I was actually called to be on duty for one of those marches. And I figured that was my way out. I found a portal back on Gehenna, which is close to Mechanus, and I walked through it. I just ran straight here. Found myself in the wastelands. That's when the Kinku, Chukka and Clunk, that's when they found me. Dragged my husk over to Rustfinger, and you know the rest. Fixed me up. I've been working on war machines ever since. They've been training me up. It's not an exciting life, but that's what I got.
Modrons, Gehennas, yep.
Yeah.
It was funny is that it makes sense to everyone else except for Chris, and also London.
Yeah, but enough about me. I think I'm gonna turn in for the night.
Thank you again for having us here.
Of course, I'm not like many folks around here. I'll welcome anybody that isn't gonna screw me over.
I guess there is one thing I gotta know before we turn in for the night. Can I heal you? Like, physically, am I capable of it? The spell has no effect on undead or constructs.
You cannot heal me like that, no. Because I am a construct.
There you go.
Shit.
Well,
Welcome to my world.
Mending takes a minute, so
That's all right. I've got my own ways of healing myself, and I've got my partner here, Sprocket. So that's probably better used on some of your friends here.
So, Gunnar, you head off. I do want a private bit of debrief between Second Company. Lulu will kind of go in towards you guys to talk more about that vision. She'll say, I don't know what you experienced when you saw the vision, Gauntlet, but I couldn't remember her at the time, but something was driving me to keep going. And I think you and I both know who she was, right?
there's nobody else it could be.
It had to be her. It makes sense, doesn't it?
There's no better option.
I don't know why, but I knew I had to find her. But I have this feeling that I don't think I ever did. If I had found her, I would remember, wouldn't I?
We can't say. I mean,
Well, from everything we know about her, if you did find her, I doubt she would have let you go willingly.
sorry, just so we're clear who we're talking about here. Are we talking about Zariel or Yale?
Thank you, Tanner.
Zariel.
Zariel.
Zariel. Okay, we are talking about Zariel.
I was wondering the same thing.
I was
a
another
millisecond.
Yeah. Zariel did say protect Lady Yale,
Right.
you know, in one vision, so, you know.
All right, so Lulu will say, so like I said, I feel like some of these are out of order. So what do we think the story is so far? And where does this new piece fit into it?
In the visions where the first round of visions that August had, when he saw you with Zariel, you were not tiny Lulu. You were big, formidable Lulu.
I'm still formidable.
now, to be clear.
Lead formidable right now, yes, but like
Don't let this poncho fool you.
bigger, we'll say then, you know. So that was clearly at the beginning, because there'd be no reason for you to get big and then shrink again.
Do you think whatever you pulled yourself out of in the beginning of the most recent dream, is that why your figure changed?
She has no idea.
Maybe it, and she's just spitballing now, but maybe it pulled the celestial energy out of you, and this is all that's left, or
Maybe.
all that's left before he got fully digested.
The thing that she is kind of disappointed about is that she didn't look back when she doesn't remember looking back when she did pull herself out of whatever that was.
Do you all remember those hell wasp nests we saw? They had celestial figures poking out of them. Maybe there's something else similar, and it trapped Lulu and fed off of her.
We're not going back near those wasps again.
Not if we don't have to, London.
But I assumed it was a mass grave, but that could be, like some kind of, I don't know, reverse crash.
Oh, what?
So let's go above board a bit. And we can talk, like, our characters talk in character, but like Tana said, okay, we start at, I do kind of want to see if where the story is going so far, what we have for what you guys think the order is so far. So we don't get too far ahead with learning all this new information without knowing what you've already learned. And plus it's helping Lulu keep her memories straight, right?
No, we started right at the beginning, the celestial mammoth charging in.
And then go ahead.
I was gonna say they met with the Hell Riders along with the guy, that one. I was asking about this guy last time or some other time. There was like another commander that met Yale, Olanthius, and
Haruman,
Haruman.
Lord Knight of the Far Hills.
Yep.
Right, and he was only in that one vision, right?
Yeah, he met with Zariel, Solar of Celestia, not the Archduchess.
Correct.
And then, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that was the second in order that we got them.
Then we got one where Zariel was gravely hurt and ordered Lulu to go protect one of the Hell Riders.
But before that, there was the one in Idle Glen. Like chronologically,
Yeah.
there was an Idle Glen where Zariel saw Yale getting dragged by the giant Knoll, who I'm assuming the tales of the Hell Ride with Nothis is incorrect. It was actually Yinagu who brought them through to here. I'm assuming it was Yinagu.
Demon
or
Lord
just
bring them into the not, or to bring in debate or not the abyss.
Good question.
Don't know. I mean,
Not
that's-
saying it's not what happened.
Maybe it's
Saying
easier
it
to open
raises
up.
another question.
Okay, so then we got Yale gets kidnapped by Yinagu and Idle Glen. All right, that was next after one of them. Okay, what else we got?
So, meeting, battle, and then another battle, this time in Hell.
Okay.
Zariel is still celestial, light is fading, hand is freshly severed.
Was there mention of her sword? Her sword was broken?
Yeah,
or
so that's the one
after.
after this.
That's the one after.
So we have meeting, battle on the material plane, aftermath of a battle in Hell, where Zariel's still celestial, and then another scene in Hell where Zariel is approached and is offered the deal on her side, where it's become an archdevil, and then it's Fort Knucklebone.
But at some point in between those two visions you just talked about, there was the vision where Zariel gave her sword to Lady Yale and charged Lulu with keeping Lady Yale safe with the sword.
Oh, is that what it was? With the
Yeah, and that
sword?
must have happened before the
Oh.
deal, right? Because Zariel was like basically
6 in the
dead in
original.
that one.
I see. I thought there were just 5 in the original.
Zariel's a good guy at one point and then switches to a bad guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we got that. We got that part, but there's a lot of gaps to fill in.
But what we don't see in any of these visions is that's where I like I'm getting pinged on this like Haruman guy and Olanthius, neither of which appear in any other visions except for this one where they're all meeting, and then it's just all Zariel, Yale, and Lulu outside that. So where do they kind of fit? And like obviously we know Olanthius being the High Rider probably went into Yale or went after Yale, went into hell to get Yale.
So many questions.
And then there's a story about how they died together in hell, and then, you know, there's a... Oh, can we ask about that fucking wellspring?
You could try.
Was Haruman mentioned in any of the legends? I mean,
No.
I know the legends are not really the most reliable, but yeah, I
No.
don't think he was ever mentioned. There's like conflicting stories about Olanthius, if I remember. But yeah, what a mystery.
But why male models?
Are you serious? I just told you.
I literally just told you.
And that's the only reason why I'm thinking, like, you know, obviously Lulu's saying that she and August agrees that they're saying like the she that Lulu thinks she's supposed to be finding and helping is Zariel, whereas Tanis and me personally like kind of think it's more Yale that she was supposed to be searching for and finding and helping based off that one vision.
So there was another vision that was just a black screen. And it was Zariel, who did not sound angelic and nice, being like, "Where's the fucking sword?" And Lulu in her current voice saying, "I don't know, I don't remember, I used to know and I don't now."
So sometime between them, Lulu lost her memory for...
And Zariel found her.
Yeah. So that could have been after she left the Magpies. Did in her most recent flashback, did she feel like she had lost her memories then? Like, was she...
Yes.
wavy
Yeah, she was
in
like
that
wandering
time?
the wasteland. She couldn't remember who she was, just that she was a friend.
Correct.
So that was probably the first time she lost her memories. Left the Magpies, found Zariel, somehow got away from her.
No, I think you're
think she-
flipped there.
Left the Magpies, Zariel found her.
Well, one of the two. They found each other after she left the Magpies.
Cool.
But there has to be a reason she was on her own. She got away somehow, or someone took her away from Zariel.
Gauntleted hand seemed like Torm in that vision, right?
Unclear.
I mean, it's, you know, a metaphor. Torm
Right.
didn't scoop his hand down into hell and pluck her out. But
It's unclear. It's unclear. Okay. You guys did a great job. I would like everyone, including Gunnar, to take an inspiration. I did want us to sort of really actually sit down and try to piece things together.
Well, while we're still over the table, how do you do inspiration? Is it just one? Do we just get one?
You
Or
only
do
can
you
have
do
her have one, yeah.
Okay, okay.
And it's just a reroll. You can do it after the fact. After you
Okay.
roll, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So after you guys like finish discussing stuff, Lil will say, I know I've been kind of quiet lately. I've just been thinking about how much is riding on all of this. I know we have to save Elturel. I know we're trying, but every time I remember something, it feels like I'm looking through a keyhole. Like maybe there's something I'm missing. Something bigger that I don't understand yet. Zariel was an angel. She was a hero. And yet, somehow, she ended up leading the legions of Avernus. How does someone so strong, so righteous, so good change like that? I just can't wrap my head around it.
I think that's probably the $1,000,000 question. Just wondering the same thing.
I'm sure we've all so good. I'm sure we've all heard the stories about impeccable angels and pure souls, but are we really sure that to these celestials they can never be tempted by anything? We are in the hells. Maybe she was offered something she couldn't say no to.
Why is it always angels falling and not devils rising, though?
I guess that's why I'm scared. I'm not about what happened back then, but about what happens next. We're in a place where the worst kind of evil there is. And I'm worried that what happened to Zariel might happen to me. Or to you guys.
Well, like what exactly? We become agents of hell. I mean, I know that's a little more close for me than the rest of you, but I don't plan on going down willingly.
I don't remember much about Zariel, but from what I do, she was the most righteous, the most good.
Wonder what she could have been tempted with.
Life, from what we saw, she was dying. I mean, some people are just too afraid of what lies beyond the veil, I guess. Maybe she didn't want to see that.
Whose journal were we reading where it was like his descent into like turning in his own
Light
on his own
Ward.
religion?
Light Ward.
This is just a thought in the back of my head. I have no evidence, of course, besides what all of us know or think we know. But I know many legends of great hero or statesman or whatnot taking on some kind of burden or blame or evil just so others don't have to bear it. Be something like that. But in this situation, I am failing to say how all the dots connect.
This doesn't feel like a noble sacrifice to me, Vin. I know what you're saying, but this isn't worthy of a story.
Always the pessimist, Ophelia.
I mean, we can't say why it happened, but I know how it happened, and that's because at the end of it, she was alone. And so we need to not repeat that mistake.
You're right, August. As long as we have each other, I don't think anything like that will happen. Not while I have anything to say about it anyways.
Oh, we need Lulu. Oh yeah, you're strong. Are you stronger than the power of friendship? No, didn't think so.
I may not have all my memories back, but I know this much. I'm not lost anymore. Not really. I'm with the second company of the Flaming Fist under Man Up Roland and Gauntlet August Elderfire. And she like salutes with her trunk.
You remember when we was like just like a day ago when we were in that bunker and we saw, 8th Legion, Terror Incarnate, why don't we have a cool name? The Sucking Company, Friends forever.
Second company, love thy enemy.
Yeah.
All right, well, if we win the race, think of a cool name now, and then shout it out when we win. We'll have all of them chanting it.
Just the whole crowd. Live, laugh, love. Live, laugh, love.
Excellent.
Toxic positivity.
Love it. Love it. That's Lulu's fucking MO. So, is there anything else that you guys would like to discuss?
Yeah, I just had one question about the Order of the Visions. Was it safe to assume that, like, the sword is like this mighty powerful weapon? Lulu gets away from Zariel when she's bad, and then, like, is convinced or, like, does herself, like, wipes her memory so she doesn't know where the sword is anymore, so that if Zariel's
no idea.
interrogating her... Oh, okay.
My theory, just as Will, she was made a device that was trying to suck the memories out, and that's why Lulu lost her memory again, is because whatever sack she was in was part of some infernal device to, like, extract memories or something. My theory.
Yeah, but that makes me, like, have even more questions. Like, why particularly did her memories need extraction? But anyway, yeah, that's like, yeah, we could speculate for, like, all night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more puzzle pieces.
Yep. Okay, cool. Are you guys ready for a long rest?
Let's do it.
All right, everybody gets a long rest. However,
Still have to... Oh, fuck.
I think it's safe to assume that nobody really takes watch, because why would you?
I mean, we're
You
looking
can.
out for sabotage now.
Okay.
So
But
Gunnar can just stay up. I mean, he doesn't sleep, but he can
yeah,
always watch.
And Vin cast the I can't remember what it's called.
Alarm.
Yeah, alarm.
Alarm.
It's called
Alarm.
just called alarm,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I assumed that nobody took watch. Do you want to take watch?
I mean, I kind of am taking
A sentinel,
watch.
right? Like you can fucking,
Yeah.
you're like got
Yeah,
security
I can
cameras.
see. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone sleeps.
If that's cool with everybody. I know we didn't talk about it, but
Yeah.
So I think, if that's the situation, that August, you actually find yourself fucking resting, which has been the first time in quite a while, because you've always had to watch your back and always be ready for someone to attack or something like that. And the worst thing that could happen tonight is that someone tries to sneak in and sabotage the war machine. So you actually get some rest. And you have a dream. You're sitting in the mess hall of the Eastway Fist Station. And all of Second Company is at the table with you. And you can see, some of the other companies in the background. And like Zodge and, Portier or whatever, right? And there's laughter. You get this feeling of warmth and the rich smell of a feast. There's just a whole feast, which is very uncommon for the Fist Station, but it's like a dream, So there's just a delicious, comforting meal. The best meal that you've had in a long time. And for once, everything feels right. Tankards slam together. Plates are piled high. Ophelia claps you on the back with a laugh and a smile. Tanis cracks a joke at London's expense. And everything is normal, safe. You take another bite of whatever you're eating, and you look down. Your hands are furry and clawed, drenched in blood. And you realize what you have just taken a bite of was a severed human arm. The flesh is half-eaten, the bone cracked and crushed. Pools of blood spread out onto your plate. And as you look up, the hall is much more dim, closed in, distorted almost. And the walls seem further away and closer at the same time. torches flicker, struggling against the oppression of darkness, and scattered across the table, the rest of your party, second company, are slashed and devoured, scattered across the table, torn apart, ripped to shreds, limbs twisted unnaturally, blood everywhere. And directly in front of you, on your plate, is Tanis's decapitated head. His lifeless eyes stare up at you. And you wake up.
Am I hungry when I wake up?
Yes. Yes, you are.
Are you a fucking werewolf? What are you?
Not twice in a row. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
The ultimate twist. In character.
Yeah, so that was the dream that you had. More of a nightmare, actually. But yeah, you do wake up a little peckish. It's something on the back of your neck kind of stings. You might have slept on it wrong.
Got a ration for you, Gauntlet.
Good.
Okay. Everyone can reconvene in the cave of the Magpie's Roost, the War Machine mechanic shop.
Do we got to roll to see if you maintain your exhaustion?
Nope, because all of you have your gear, right?
5 days in a row with exhaustion ends now.
Guys, no.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, after today, we'll have spent a full 10 day in hell.
Never thought I'd be able to say that.
It only gets worse from here.
Can celebrate with drinks at the shithole once we're done with all of this.
We start at the Scrappers Exchange then.
Yep. A couple things that we've got to do. The Scrappers Exchange. We'll investigate this part. I do have to start fixing my war machine with the help of Vin. Now that I've got the part that I need. We've also got to sign up for the Doom Run race. And we might be able to hit that on the way to investigate Gentle.
Yeah, you could. It's in Blackfinger. You're right.
Yep. But yeah, let's start with the Scrappers Exchange. That might be the best first step in finding out who's sabotaging these war machines.
I know that we struck a deal with the Iron Fangs that, if we find out who did it, we tell them and they handle it, right? Isn't there some sort of authority we can take this to and have them put through the system properly? Can we take this to... We have reports of a crime we would like to report, instead of this backdoor justice I'm just getting so goddamn sick of.
You can bring it up to the Red Caps.
Would Gunnar think they would actually do anything about it?
Sometimes.
I don't know. We could try it, Tanis, but
Not so different from Baldur's Gate after all.
Yeah, it was your first time in second company. That's what do you mean?
I didn't like it the first time, and I don't like it the second time.
We need all the allies we can get if these Iron Fangs are going to help us provide soul coins.
It is against the law, so I'm playing it up as a joke, but it is against the law to sabotage the other war machine. So if you do take it up with the Red Caps, I'm sure that there is some sort of
Sure.
precedent for that. You're muted, Brennan.
It's also like, how often could people just say like, "Oh, this guy fucked me over," and the red caps just
Exactly.
go kill him? Like, that's not a sustainable practice.
Yeah, we would need hard evidence.
I mean, is it possible that we just do both? We could tell the red caps and then head over to Iron Fang and let them know. Whoever gets to them first, I guess.
Well, after we go to the exchange, right? Because
Well, we gotta find out who it is
Yeah,
first.
figure it
We
out.
gotta find out and then maybe get some like actual proof.
Yeah.
I'd hate to lose potential allies and not doing what they ask, but it just, the idea of backdoor justice is just, that's not what we're supposed to do.
Tennis, I agree with you, but I think if you go looking for justice in a place like this, you're gonna go mad.
One of the last things that the marshal said to us is no matter where we go, we're still Flaming Fist and we still abide by the rules set down by them. And I'm not about to throw that out the window just because we're in Avernus.
Dennis, you know me, I'm all good with some justice, but following the rules to get there, that's where I might disagree with you.
I just follow the orders, that you give, August, but that is my opinion, and I stand by it. Do with it what you will.
All right. Scrappers Exchange?
Yep.
Do it.
All right. You guys head out of Rustfinger. War Machine screams past you as it idles into a garage somewhere, and you head into Barterfinger. Barterfinger is just as packed as it was the first time you arrived. However, as you are walking through Barterfinger, you get about halfway through the area when there's a huge commotion. Some screaming, some yelling, and you could see some scavers and merchants sort of circling around. And you could see that there's a scaver grabbing a merchant from like across a counter or like a table outside by his shirt. And he's like, "That's half of what it's worth." And the merchant's like, "You gave me garbage, you get garbage back." It's like, "That wasn't the deal, you filthy fucking dune rat." Right? And the merchant pushes him off of him, and the scaver steps back, and wild-eyed and desperate, he pulls out a dagger, right? And goes to run and jump towards the merchant. Then, in an instant, there's a shimmer of shadow, a puff of smoke. And standing in front of this scaver with the knife is Rictus Grin. And the scaver's knife drives straight into Rictus's side. Right? Just like punctures him in his side. And for a second, everything is dead silent. The merchant stumbles back, and the scaver just freezes, staring in horror at what he's just done. And Rictus will say, "Careful now. Someone might get hurt." And he grabs onto the scaver's hand. And the scaver's trying to pull away, right? Like he's basically holding the dagger into himself, right? And Rictus is saying, don't run. Finish what you started." And he will take the knife and twist it in a way where it breaks the man's wrist and twists it into himself, right? And Rictus doesn't fucking flinch. He doesn't blink. He doesn't react at all as the scaver screams out in pain. And Rictus headbutts the motherfucker, and he gets slow, like drives into the ground, right? And Rictus will say, "You know the law. No blood on the fingers." and he will take his steel-plated boot and drive it into the scaver's teeth. Red caps begin surrounding the scaver and pulling him in, and Rictus slowly draws the dagger from his side without even flinching and licks the blade. And he twirls it in his fingers, and then he'll toss it onto the scaver's chest as he's being lifted up. Clean yourself up. You're making a mess. And the red caps drag the scaver up and begin to take him away. And Rictus, bleeding just profusely down his side, all down his leg. It's a terrible wound. And Rictus will say, is anyone else feeling brave today? No? Listen carefully out there. Out there. Out there in the endless wasteland. Out there is madness. Out there is chaos and endless suffering. In Fort Knucklebones, we have law. Our rules separate you from the wretches outside these walls. But if you'd rather live like rats, tearing each other apart, fighting for scraps, we will treat you like rats. Step in line and you'll spend the rest of your miserable life fueling the flames of the furnace. Back to your holes. And he will just slowly walk through, blood just trailing on the ground. As if this man is immune to pain. And he begins walking through the crowd after the red caps that are dragging this scaver, who's now no teeth, bleeding profusely, unconscious. And Rictus makes his way past you.
That's one way to hold up order, I suppose.
Yeah, he does a damn good job of it too.
So is that common? Do people actually try and break the rules that much?
Probably not as much as if Rick just wasn't around. He keeps people in line for sure, but they get out of hand, and he takes care of it. We probably
Alright.
shouldn't stay around too long.
Yeah, I was gonna say, all right, let's
Right.
keep going.
Right.
Okay. You guys make your way to the back of Barterfinger, to this big cave that is the Scrappers Exchange. And when you first walk in, a little Zvart approaches, and he's like, buy, sell, trade, junk. What do you got?
Well, I'm not sure how to explain this, Zvart, but we've got this this piece that we need to see who bought it.
Ledger office. And then he walks away.
Okay. We start heading towards the ledger office.
Yep. So you got to go up the elevator to the second little ring, and then you walk around the ring.
Past the little hanging things.
And you make your way over to the ledger office, which is a narrow cave with an iron desk that separates it. And it's stalled at, got little stalls in it. And most of them are full. You find the open one. And as you turn the corner, 2 feet are resting on the counter. As you'll see Toe Tender. He's actually picking his teeth with a toenail. So he's got his foot curled up, and he's picking his teeth. He's like, the primey skin bags have returned. And he uses his foot to scratch his revealed, slightly hairy potbelly.
Yeah, and Gunnar throws down this part. You know who bought this part?
He looks at it. And then he looks up at you in surprise. Do you hear them? Do you hear them? The rats. Skittering. They found me.
I look to the rest of the group. Do you guys hear anything?
Anyways, he goes back to what he was doing. Look at this sad little corpse. No spark, no life, no flame. Yes, I can tell you. This mark here means it was bought here. See? Shows it to you. But this one, this right here, that means it was bought as is, already dead. I can tell you who bought it. Easy peasy, garlic squeezy.
Okay.
You sell broken parts here.
Scrappers exchange. They exchange scrap.
Well, scrap, yes, but I mean, isn't this thing useless?
Mm.
Isn't that what scrap means?
Yes, and it's a magical component, so it actually sold for more than a piece of metal did. It could be refurbished if you know what you're doing, you know? It's like buying a broken part from a junkyard,
Like
you know?
transmission or something.
Yeah, right.
He doesn't know this. but
Right,
yeah,
that's true. But he says, but I gotta go. He explains that he has to go get the main ledger from the back. So he leaves for he like jumps off and waddles across, and then you will see him come back hopping on one leg with the book in between his toes. And the thing is, this book is like this thick, so his toes are real spread. It is disturbing. But he like hops back, throws it up on the counter, uses his feet to pull himself up. You don't know how he's doing it. It is so bizarre. And he'll sit down and he says, let's see here. And he begins flipping through the pages, lick his toe a little bit, flip the pages, takes a fingernail and like drives it under it to flip it. Let's see here. Points its toe on the page and begins reading. Here we are. Yeah, we got the name here. Clear as warm in a corpse's eye. Hitch. Hitch is the name of the buyer.
Just Hitch?
Yeah, bought this dead little spark choker right here at the exchange. And
Interesting.
he
How much
takes
spend
his
for it?
other foot and like puts a monocle up to his eye and closes one eye. So he's got one foot reading the page and the other one holding a monocle. And as he's reading, he'll say, this is a funny little transaction here. Oh, yes, my skin bags it is.
Why is that?
Well, this Hitch fellow, this chitless gnar, walks in here up to his tits in debt. Ugly debt, too. The get your toenails yanked out kind. He weren't in no position to buy parts. No. And then he slams his heel into the book and flips it around. And would you looky at this? And he slides it across, and I will show you what you see. Books and notes, Scrappers Exchange Letter, Hitch's transactions. So this might not look very much to you, but his toe will point to the third entry. There's other entries above this. These are like the last couple. But he will point your attention to the third entry. And he'll say, the same day he bought this here ignition control, that big, fat, ugly debt cleared, wiped clean, vamoose. Over 1,200 chits paid. Not by him either. Paid off by an anonymous account. We got plenty of those.
Toe tender. Is it possible to know whose anonymous account this is?
I can pull it up.
That would be great.
Cool. He will do that momentarily. But he says, the thing that's interesting is the blister man put his mark on this. Personal clearance. That ain't usual. Blister man don't do business with scabs often. No, he does not. Not his style. And after his debt's cleared, then this Hitch, debt-free as a newborn maggot, buys this dead spark choker, pays in full. And who clears it? The blister man. Takes the chits himself. He don't like to deal with scabs. Don't process their debt. Don't touch their little piss pot transactions. Yet here, he puts his mark twice. And you will also notice that there is a second, for the debt payment, there is a second approval signature needed. As in all debt payments or something about it requires 2 signatures. But just
not for this one.
This one, it just says the Blisterman personal clearance override.
That's fishy.
Yeah, Totender can explain that for any transaction under 5,000 shits, a clerk can sign off on it, such as Totender. But there are transactions that require special approval, which are above 5,000 shits, and they require 2 signatures. They need to be verified and processed by a senior clerk or an overseer. But the Blisterman is the head of the exchange, and he can personally sign off on stuff and bypass the approval process, pushing the transaction through without oversight from other clerks or overseers. So that appears to be what happened here. And also it's very uncommon for the Blisterman to just sell a part. That's so fucking weird.
A dead one at that.
But yeah, did you wanted to look into this
Yes.
anonymous account?
The anonymous account.
Yep.
Anonymous account.
Okay. Totender will slam his heel into the page, flip it around, and begin flipping through the book, reading with his other foot, and he will pull up the account and flip it over towards you guys. And this is it. So, from what it looks like, this anonymous account is buying thousands of chits worth of parts. They're prepaid, and they are all being personally cleared by the Blisterman. We're talking thousands of chits worth of part. One of the orders is 10,150 chits.
Can we check the other items purchased by Hitch to see if there's any other defective ones under his name?
No, not really.
Does the name Hitch ring anything to Gunnar?
No.
What about this garage? Break and take supply.
Nope, never heard of it.
Even though I
Live in
live
Rustfinger.
Is it even a thing?
You haven't heard of every single store in Rustfinger, I will say. There's
Sure.
And some people like have their private stalls that are just have a name, you know? There's just one guy that sells his shit like at a flea market and he names it. It's like, yeah, it's like fucking Joe's used shit or whatever, right? And it's like just one guy.
That's an amazing name for a company.
Interesting. Well, it looks like we may have, unfortunately, something a little bit bigger on our hands. Especially if the Blisterman is personally clearing some high dollar parts here.
So maybe we start getting out of here then.
Can I?
No. So good.
I was gonna say, can I just do a quick scan? Is anyone, any of these Zarts, or is there anyone that's watching?
100%. Yeah, definitely. There's definitely a Zart that's right above you that is supposed to be watching for part orders. And you will also have noticed the Blister Man on your way in. He's on the floor, on like the exchange floor.
But he in particular doesn't seem to be paying attention. He's just there doing his business.
Can I say maybe we don't go to him first? I mean, let's maybe check out the garage, see if we can
Saying
get some
we
more
get the hell
info.
out of here. We might have just tipped our hand.
Toe Tender is a little confused about what's happening right now.
I mean,
Well, I think we're all settled up here. We're just looking for a present for a friend, so I guess we will.
Make a deception check.
Matter of fact, I think I can hear scurrying. Let's go, guys.
Deception, okay. 12.
Okay. He scratches his chin with his foot.
Let's get on our way then.
Yeah, we thanks for your help, Totender. And I turned the book around.
Yep. He's confused. Yep.
Yeah, you were a big help. Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And leave.
Okay. You guys can back off from there. A Svart drops down as you guys leave, and Toe Tender begins speaking with him. Okay.
We might have just stumbled upon something a little higher than our pay grade, I think.
let's just get out of here for.
Yeah. There's not much we can do right now. Let's
So here's the question. The Blister Man is on the floor. Are you guys trying to not avoid him? Or are you just trying to be casual?
Just casual.
Okay.
Soups cash.
As the elevator descends, you will see the Blister Man has slithered up as if to go onto the elevator. And he will see all of you and take the cigar out of his mouth, and he'll say, "Well, now, if it ain't the primies a-wandering back into my exchange. Y'all settling in all right?"
I think we're starting to get the hang of this place.
I elbow London in the ribs.
I need like a deception check from somebody. I need a I'm keeping totally cool check from somebody.
What check would that be?
A deception, probably.
Deception.
Yeah.
Deception,
So
yeah,
whoever's
yeah,
best at it can
Um,
make the roll.
2.
I think that's me. I have a 7 to deception.
Okay, go ahead. You can go ahead and roll.
Yeah.
Just a solid check.
19.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. He says, well, that's good to hear. Y'all take care now.
You
Have
too.
a good one.
He will tip his hat to you and slither onto the elevator. Goes back up.
Do not smile and give thumbs up. We're trying to stay low-key, London. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay. All right. You guys exit the Scrappers Exchange.
Yeah, once we're clear of Svarts,
Yep.
we can start talking again.
No problem.
So we headed to Break and Take, or start looking for a place called Break and Take.
There's also Gentle as well.
Yeah, we
That's
can
what I thought the next step.
we can. I mean, we could on our way to Gentle, which is in Blackfinger, right? We could just take a peek in Rustfinger and see if we even see a. Or do we want to mess with it?
I
We
want to
wanna just-
pull that thread, but I just fear that if those Zards report back to the Blister Man, and they report to him that we were digging into his personal business,
You know what? We also have we've also got some time before the race. Snapjaw did say that as long as we get back with him before the race, we would have some soul coins in it, but so we can
Well-
always come back to it.
If the Blister Man is going to be tipped off on us, it might be better to try and check out this garage now before they have the time to maybe sweep away any evidence. Just a thought.
Maybe we intentionally make some noise and draw them out.
Could be dangerous.
Well, maybe if they know somebody's looking into things, they'll back off on any sabotaging before the race.
I don't know how much you know about the politics up top of this place, but like, does the Blister Man have rivals in here, or do they all seem to be pretty chummy?
Hard to say.
Everybody's chummy.
Yeah, hard to say.
At the
Yeah,
very
but-
least, I'd say we should see what the Minotaur has to say before we make any more conclusions.
Yeah, he that war machine got sabotaged too, right? So we could see if
Maybe he knows Hitch.
Minotaur has anything. Yeah.
Why don't Gunnar? Why don't you make me a history check to see if you've heard any rumors about Gentle?
Yeah, sure.
You have.
16.
So Gentle is a very notorious. So Gentle is a Minotaur, and he has basically almost lived his entire life in the Fort Knucklebones in the furnace. The thing is, every so often, after you work a certain amount like of your time, like you do pay enough of your time, you know, you get let off for good behavior. Well, in Fort Knucklebones, you get to death race for your freedom. But usually, so they give you the shit ass worst war machine possible, and most of the people aren't war machine racers, right? They're like criminals. So the thing is, every single time Gentle has been allowed inside a war machine, he's won first place in the death race.
Does he race this? Are those races the scrap
No, it's in the Doom Run.
races?
They put them in the Doom Run for reasons, but yeah, they put them in the Doom Run usually so they lose.
Right.
And
But
just
he's
kill off
won.
all those people. Oh, yeah. Against professional racers in a ragtag shit-ass machine.
So like he gets time off and then immediately reoffends, or he just
It
mysteriously
seems
never
that
gets
way.
out?
It seems that way.
Since he's back on it,
It
so-
seems that way, that he keeps getting back in, yeah.
Well,
That's amazing. What a gangster.
I mean, like he knows he can get out whenever. So
Yeah,
I guess it's not
I'm
that
gonna
big a thing.
Just dummy all these kids in the death race and get out.
Why do they call him Gentle then?
do I know?
There's-
No.
Okay.
Imagine because it's ironic.
Yeah.
You do know that his nickname is the Brazen Bull.
Okay. Well, if anything, we could at least get some knowledge about the race while we're at it. He might be able to tell us a thing or two while we're investigating the sabotage parts. Since he's won so many.
Yeah. Very intrigued to talk to this character. Let's go.
All right, so you guys are headed to Blackfinger.
Yeah.
All right. As you make your way to Blackfinger, let's take a short break.
Okay.
See you guys in a little
See you
bit.
in a second.
we're back. Somebody talk.
Hey.
Hello.
No.
Perfect. Okay. So you make your way across basically the entirety of the fort, over towards Blackfinger, the pinky side of Fort Knucklebones. Blackfinger is a stark utilitarian district wedged between the cliffs, compact, fortified, and under constant watch. Unlike the chaotic sprawl of Barterfinger or the wreckage-strewn expanses of Rustfinger, Blackfinger is tightly controlled. Its reinforced walkways and iron-plated buildings forming a rigid, oppressive grid. The rumble of machinery never stops, mixing with the heavy thud of boots on metal grates. Barbed fences and guarded checkpoints stand in front of key facilities, and thick piping snakes along the walls, feeding unseen mechanisms. Every movement here feels observed, every transaction monitored. Nothing in Blackfinger goes unnoticed. So as you walk through, you will notice these elevated walkways. That was describing like the metal boots on the right. There are these metal walkways that sort of grid overhead, and this is called the Gallows Walk. It connects certain buildings, but it also is lined with heavy iron stalks and manacles. This is where people, before they get sent to the furnace, are put on display. A few figures are currently being held here with brands on their chest. So when you get arrested, you get branded on your chest or on your arm or somewhere on you. And there is someone, an older man, a human, and he has reneged and thief branded on him, both looking very fresh. There's another guy, bugbear type figure, and he has branded on his arm Brawler. I mean, he's beat the fuck up. There's some other little scrawny looking guy that's all mutated, and it says Debtor on him. And there's another guy that says Thief and Lawbreaker on him, branded on them. And they will eventually be brought to the furnace to begin their sentence. But right now, they're just chilling. You will also pass the Still. The Still is a tall cylindrical structure lined with rusted piping and a massive condensation tank. Low fortified compound sits against the rock face with rows of rusted tanks and spigots guarded by red caps. A long canopy shelters a slow-moving line of scavvers waiting for rations, while several barred exchange booths handle payments. This is the Still, the water purification center. There is also a heavily armored bunker, essentially. This is called the fuel depot, and it is where soul coins are sold and stored.
What's that called?
The fuel depot.
Thank you.
You will also pass the Ledger House if you wanted to stop there first or after. It's up to you. It's a sturdy, reinforced structure made from thick slabs of salvaged metal. There's no windows, only narrow slits near the ceiling for ventilation. Single reinforced entrance guarded at all times by red caps. This place handles race payouts and signups, contract and deal officiation. This is like the collectorate's office, essentially. Banking and deposits and tax collection.
You guys want to pop in here and we can sign up for that race really quick?
Let's get that done first, so we have a reason to be here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and lead us in.
Sure. You guys walk in. It is essentially a very empty, not decorated at all bank. Like that's kind of what it looks like, right? With the counters, and there's reinforced iron bars that separate all of the. But you guys can go up to a counter, and there's actually a door that leads into another room. And Gunnar, you would know that this is the racing. Oh God, there's a word for it. Racing office.
Yeah.
Or whatever, where they handle that stuff. So you can go in there. There is an imp with a mustache, and like one of those powdered wigs, but it's in miniature, and he's scrawling on a piece of parchment standing out on the desk itself. When you walk in.
Okay, I'll say, hey, 1 ticket for a Doom run, please.
You would like to sign up for the Dune Run, or
That's correct. Yep.
were you invited?
I actually have a contract with Ragadraga.
Oh, let me pull up my notes on this.
We made a deal.
Yeah.
The track decides.
Track decides. That's not it. That's not it. Register. Okay. So usually you need to be sponsored or invited to the Doom Run. You can sign up for the Scrap League if you'd like, but I do recall Ragadraga coming in here yesterday, and he said that you invoked a rival's call out, and he accepted.
That's correct. Yeah.
So you will be allowed to race, but Ragadraga, he has a reputation, and there's a bit of a pecking order. You're a wannabe. You're an unknown. And that's usually where you would sign up for the Scrap League.
I understand that. Me and my friends here, we just need to get signed up for the Doom Run. Ragdragon and I made a deal, and unless you want Ragadraga to run in the Scrap League, we're gonna have to run in the Doom Run.
That's understood. I feel like I recognize you.
I mean, I've got a garage over in Rustfinger.
With the magpies.
Yep, that's right.
He will take off his spectacles. You were in the last Doom Run, weren't you?
Yes, that's right.
It was a joke.
No, listen.
Those.
I just want to sign up for the Doom Run.
Okay, fine. I will suggest that you maybe get some notoriety at the Scrap League, drum up some bets. You need to make it worth everyone's while.
All right.
Unfortunately, you're going to have to pay a bit of a higher entrance fee.
Okay. Well, I guess we do have a couple days, and it would train us up. It would train us up pretty well. When's the next Scrap League?
It's literally whenever they have enough people to do it, they do it. It happens all the time. Every day there's 2 or 3.
What do you guys think about running a couple Scrap League races just to get our feet wet, I guess?
Yeah, it'd probably be best if the Doom race wasn't our first time in the machine.
Will all 6 of us fit on one vehicle?
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
the maximum amount.
Okay. Yes. Actually, we need all 6 of us.
London will say, "Damn," quietly under his breath.
The more people, the better.
So the imp will make it clear that he's not saying no. It's
I know what you mean.
You invoked the track. You will be legalized, but prove that you're worth the track space. The crowd wants a show, not a massacre.
Yeah, we'll. I mean,
Okay.
can we sign up for more than one Scrap League race here?
Yeah, I mean, basically, the way that the Scrap League works is you can actually go sign up at the kill box at the race. It's like day of shit. Like you can just sign up.
You can just
Yeah,
walk up.
it's you can just walk up and sign in. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
That's usually where people are like the track decides. That's where they handle it. The thing is, you called out a high-profile racer, and the Doom Run is not just for anybody.
Yeah, sure.
This is where all of the money in Fort Knucklebones gets moved. So it's a big deal. So he can sign you up for your Doom League race, though, or your Doom Run race, because you do need to sign up several days in advance to get your betting odds and stuff. So he will say, and what's your team name?
Hey, folks, we got a team name.
Second company. All right.
That's kind of a dumb name. That's all
Yeah,
right.
the imp is and the imp looks at Gunner. Gunner looks at the imp, and they all look back at you.
The Pit Primes?
We
hold
workshop
please.
this. I feel like we have it. Do we have to give you that right now, or can we
Yeah,
just put it
it's going to
on
be
second
on
company
your.
in a minute?
So the reason that you need to sign up is to set up the betting odds, and you can check back in a couple of hours, and they'll have your betting odds up. But yeah, it's going to be posted at the kill box and every betting office in around the track and everywhere. People can already start placing bets on Doom Runs today. But odds change.
What do you
I think we
folks?
just
We need to.
like self-sabotage, get our odds up as high as possible.
That's one true.
Our team name is bye week, no race.
You will be probably going up against teams known as the Iron Fangs, the Gorguts Gang, the Scathe Sisters, the Sand Crawlers, the Coalborn Sons, the Hellhounds, stuff like that. So all very badass names.
The Disrespecters.
Disrespect.
Specters. Is that what you want? Tell
We
me
can't
that.
go- We can't go with second company.
You don't like Pit Primes?
Flaming Fist is a bit more in line with their whole theme.
Flaming
Fist.
is not
Fist.
bad.
Flaming Fist is way better.
All right,
Pit Primes is good though. That's some funny shit.
We'll go Flaming Fist.
Flaming Fist.
That's what
okay.
everybody calls us, but we're
Yeah.
Flaming Fist,
Right.
like on the ticket.
Yeah, that's fine.
Boring.
All right, so the imp will write down Flaming Fists. What class war machine you have? Tormentor.
Tormentor.
And he's gonna say that, you know, some more official odds will be needed. However, you do need to pay a 1,500 chit entrance fee.
How much do we have?
108.
Yeah, 1/15 of that.
Well, I have soul coins.
Mm.
All right. I will. Well, how much is my soul coins? Or like
You
one of
can
my
find one that's in approximation to that
Sure.
price. For
Okay.
sure.
All right. I'll set one down on two.
Yep.
I'll say I got it, guys.
He'll study it over. That's good, and he'll take it. The last thing is, what's your war machine name? You gave it to me. I have it. If you want me to remind you.
Oh, it's Yama, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, Yama.
Yes. Okay. Yama.
Llama.
Yeah.
Yama. That's
Cool.
what it was.
All right. He will. The imp will write that down. Some of the other vehicles are known as the Sputterbug, the Iron Boar. What's another one?
Those are definitely all just band names now.
The
Just
Ichor
Google
Hound,
metal bands.
the Messiah,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Well, it's funny we're calling ourselves the Flaming Fists. For a second, I actually thought we could call ourselves the Hell Riders as well.
That's a good deal. That's a good.
Outriders,
That's
too.
yeah. That's actually pretty good. All right, so you guys get signed up. No problem. If you come back a little bit later, your betting odds will be up. But right now they're just.
Can't wait to see those.
Gunner would tell you, by the way, that Yama is the name of this like deity who's the judge of the dead over Mechanus, and that's kind of where he like came up with it. So. A little bit of home.
Okay.
But we do need to run a couple Scrap League races.
That is what the imp is suggesting.
Yes.
I think Gunnar, you would know why, but the imp isn't going to say this at all. He wouldn't even suggest that this is why. But the thing is, if you guys win, it will completely upset this entire place. Like, people are going to be betting thousands, hundreds of thousands of chits, and like, you're going to fuck up the economy if you win this race. So they're trying to like get more money on you guys so that it sort of gets your odds better.
I think we throw the races in the scrap league and just fuck up this economy as much as we can.
Well, here's the thing. Throwing, you might not want to do a bunch of scrap because they're all death races, right? So it's like you will be battling for your life regardless.
So that's why Gunnar was hesitant to just straight up do as many scrap league races as we could, because everyone is a risk that we take of not walking away. So we gotta be careful here. But it would be good to run a couple. Get our notoriety up.
Yeah.
Get some practice in, get some training in, and then we can hopefully have a chance at beating Ragadraga.
I kind of feel like if we all die in the scrap race, we never had a fucking chance to save Elturel anyway.
True.
You're probably not wrong there.
True. Another thing that, Gunnar, you could tell them is that, like I said, so the scrap league is normally just for merchants and stuff that like need to handle their business, or people that owe a lot of money will race for a sponsor, right? So they can get paid back, you know? But the other thing is some people can't always afford the Doom Run prices. So there are also just badass racers that should be in the Doom Run, but they can't get over that barrier to entry.
Sure.
So you're not always just racing dumbasses.
Yeah.
Right? Like there are some professional racers that just do scrap run or scrap league races.
Does the imp give me anything?
Yeah, I'm sure actually there's some sort of entrance invitation.
Okay. I'll take that, and
it's like a metal plate, you know, that's been stamped like a license plate kind of thing.
Yeah. I'll thank him, and we've got what we need. Let's go see Gentle.
Okay. All right.
The sand drifters.
Oh my god, I actually love that.
I'm wearing the shirt too. God damn it.
That's good. Okay, so you guys can exit the Ledger House and make your way to back of Blackfinger. So at the back side of Blackfinger, where the cliffs meet the main mountain area, you will see a small industrial station where prisoners, scavenged fuel, and refuse are loaded onto aerial cable car lifts things. The cars ascend up the Hand Mountain towards the furnace, dragging along their cargo with a deafening rattle. I think I have a better description as you get closer. Yeah. A stretch of jagged, rusted fencing marks the boundary of the furnace cable car station, the lift station. A massive set of iron-plated gates stands open, just wide enough to let a war machine into the yard beyond. A makeshift guard post sits beside the entrance, a little more than a dented scrap metal booth with a mounted crank siren. A pair of red caps in soot-stained coats lounge nearby it, like in front of it. Beyond the gate, the yard is a mess of activity. Shackled prisoners, their collars lined with thick iron chain running along the ground, struggle under the weight of iron drums and scrap crates, hauling them from the bed of a war machine towards a massive metal platform at the far end of the yard, the platform that lifts up and down. They are aerial lifts. There's metal towers that support the cable that runs to the furnace above. The furnace is a black iron industrial fortress with smokestacks vomiting black smoke into the sky. Redcap enforcers roam the yard, some watching from station's catwalks, others jeering at the prisoners below. Working near... Oh, hold on. Let me pull up a handout. I fucking love this guy. Where is he? Gentle. Here he is. Working near the loading zone is a hulking, shirtless minotaur that stands out from the other prisoners around him. His left horn is snapped off, and a long, thick, dreadlocked mane runs down his back. You notice his bare chest and arms are marked with dozens of branding scars. Reneged, thief, brawler, debtor, lawbreaker, rioter, murderer. Most burned into his hide more than once for repeat offenses. Some of them even stacked on top of each other because they're running out of room. However, his back is much worse. A lattice of deep crisscrossing whip scars cover nearly every inch of his back. No flesh on his back is untouched. He moves like a beast who knows the cage is too weak to hold him, but chooses to stay inside. And you guys know that this must be Gentle, the brazen bull. But he is working inside the gate, and there is 2 red cap guards in the front. What would you guys like to do?
Did you
Do you
say you had
have
a
art?
handout for
Yeah.
it?
Oh, sorry, I forgot. There you go.
I was excited. I was ready.
God, I fucking love that guy so fucking much.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
That guy's so fucking awesome. Okay, so if you guys approach the gate, I mean, essentially, you're gonna have to like ask these guards to come in here. Essentially,
Yeah.
it's not like impossible. You're not allowed.
So he's inside the gate.
He
He's
is.
inside the gate.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
in the lift station.
Okay. So I guess we just walk up.
Yeah, as you approach, these 2 red caps look up. One of them wipes his nose and hawks a loogie on the ground, and the other one leans on a pike made of scrap metal. And he'll say, well, now, what's this? Looking for work in the furnace? We're always hiring. No, let me do a different voice. No prior experience necessary. And they laugh to themselves.
Nope. Not looking for work. We're just looking for Gentle.
The red caps look at each other. You got a death wish scab? Because I'd be happy to oblige you instead. And he like takes the spear and points it towards you.
No, that won't be necessary. We need to have a chat with him.
What are you, his long lost mama? Come to tell him his war machine went to a nice farm upstate? The other one will be like, the bullshit ain't got speak with whoever he wants privileges. He's property of the fort. He talks when we say he talks. What do you think this is, a petition office? Excuse me, sirs. I'd like to file a complaint about me friend's incarceration. Get bent, scav.
If any consolation, he probably doesn't want to talk to us.
They're basically like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Is there bribery here, Gunnar? Perhaps we can slip these fellows a few chits?
If you got the chits on you.
How much do we have?
Don't.
150?
Yeah, 158.
Tanner says nope. No chits, 0 chits.
We have chits. We have 108 chits.
108.
There you go.
You
How
can try.
worth it is
You
it
can
to
try
talk
your
to
luck.
this guy?
Well, I'm not doing it. I'm more of the idea, man.
How many of us would it take to have the same output as Gentle? Like doing whatever work he's doing.
Do you ask him that?
No, I just want to try and size it up myself.
If you look over at Gentle, it takes 3 guys to carry one of these iron drums. Gentle is carrying one of them over his shoulder.
We could go in and work.
Yeah, that's my idea. Where it's like we trade. You know, it's like we just want to talk to him. We're going to make sure you don't lose any production value out of it.
No, we'll work.
So
as you guys are like talking to each other, trying to figure this out, the red caps are also talking to each other and trying to figure this out. And they'll go, "Hey, Scab,
Yeah, what do you want?
we're feeling generous today. Real generous. Ain't that right, Clem?" And the other one's like, "Yeah, real generous." And he's like, "Tell you what, Scabs. We'll give you 10 minutes with the bullshit. If you make it worth our while."
What do you want in return?
Well, we've been sitting here for a while, and we're getting a little bored. How about you take a little dare? Do the dare, we'll let you in. Under one stipulation. Clem here's got to escort you.
What do we think?
And we have other stuff we could trade. Do your bosses let you drink on the job?
He could, yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, yeah.
We got an alchemy jug full of beer.
That sounds pretty good. We're not against that.
And, 2 drunk guards might be less trouble if, they try to eavesdrop or start shit with us.
What'll it be?
We're getting the jug back, right?
We're just going to give them the beer, not the jug.
Come on, Scabs, what'll it be?
Vin starts like scrounging through like the bag of holding, looking for like sufficient containers for all the beer.
Okay. Why do you bring up the beer thing to him? All right, make a persuasion check.
What is it, like 6 gallons for each of them? 4 gallons for each of them or something like that? Like,
I'll make it a low DC. They got a bucket too that you can put it in.
yeah.
A bucket?
You got the piss bucket, put the beer in
Yeah.
it.
Just dump the.
Dump the piss out, yeah. Oh, not bad. Not bad. All right, Scav. You're either brave or mad or both. Either way, don't make no difference to me. You got a deal.
You got to shake on it.
Spits in his hand.
Just the driest spit in August's hand.
And yeah, you shake hands. It's just there's a black glob on that man's hand. That's it. And you just shake hands. All right. He dumps the piss bucket out and cannon and gives ready for taking of beer.
Yep. Then we'll.
How much is there? Like, how much can you give him?
It's. When I reset my computer, I lost that alchemy. Hold on. I had like the info pulled up, but it's like a few gallons at least.
Yeah, 4 gallons of beer.
Oh wow, okay.
4 gallons,
they
yeah.
have a 5-gallon bucket, so they can totally take all of that. So they take all the beer, and once they like take the big like heavy thing and try to drink it, they're like, "Holy shit, this is the best fucking beer that we've ever had!"
Right?
Yeah,
I'm sure it is.
It's like mid-quality beer on the material plane, but this is the best shit they've ever had. So they are totally willing to let you in. So they're like, all right, off you go. 10 minutes. And don't make me or Clem have to drag you out because we might be tempted to just throw some chains on you and put you to work.
All right, well, 10 minutes.
Okay. Clem, the one that spit before, he wasn't really very talkative. He's the one that's going to escort you in. So you guys walk into the compound. Gentle is actively working, carrying an iron drum, like I said, that the other prisoners need 3 people to lift. And he's carrying it over one shoulder. And Clem will say, hey, Gent, you got company. Some blood-raiding scavers. Want to talk to you. And Gentle will, still having the drum on his shoulder, stop, turn over towards you guys. Who are you?
Hi, Gentle. My name's Gunner. These are my friends here. The Flaming Fists, they're called. We are coming from Snapjaw, right? We're coming from Snapjaw. We may have heard some rumors that your war machine back in the day may have been tampered with. And we're trying to get to the bottom of it.
Did you say the Snapjaw?
That's right.
Somebody fucked with his war machine too.
And mine, maybe.
You will see his other hand that's not holding the cask clench into a tight fist, and steam comes from his flared nostrils. He will take a breath and set the barrel down and begin rolling his shoulders, trying to stay calm. You can see him close his eyes and trying to control this rage. After he's calmed for a moment, guess if you came out here to find me, means you must have heard my reputation.
That's right.
The Brazen Bull has never lost a race he's run. What do you want to know?
You know anybody by the name of Hitch?
Can't say I've heard the name.
What do you know about guy over at Scrappers Exchange?
What do you mean?
His name has escaped me.
Blisterman?
Blisterman, thank you. What do you know about Blisterman over there?
He gets angry again. And he's like trying to control his rage. It sounded to me like you trying to find out who's been sabotaging these war machines.
Exactly.
It's true what they say, you know. I never lost a race, but it seems no matter how many times I win, I still end up right back in the furnace where I belong. Until they let me race my way out again, that is. Last time I won the race, and the warden let me out again, I spent months, keeping my shit together. I kept me head down like I was supposed to, and I saved. Every day I saved up to buy myself my own war machine. It wasn't a rusted up salvage heap either. I built it from the ground up. Every chit scraped together. Every part picked by my own hands. Thought if I focused on the race, what I was good at, I might could stay away from this place for good. I named her Darlene, after me mother. And when I finally finished her, she ran like a scaver's wet dream. And the best part was, she was mine. Day before the race, I checked her top to bottom. She was perfect. Left her in the garage in a grasp. Come race day, when I went to fire her up, nothing. Dead as a corpse on the pyre. Thought it was the ignition at first, checked underneath. And they start to get really angry again. Some imp fucking son of a bitch had ripped out my vapor pressure regulator, straight out of the intake. Must have used a goddamn crowbar or something, stripped the threads all to hell, and left the mount all torn up. I've been a thieving scaver in my day. I know how parts get nicked. You go for the easy grabs, furnace exhaust covers, wheels, treads, shit that won't get you caught rooting around too long. And if this stupid fucking gutter rat wanted to really sabotage me, plenty of ways to do it. Quiet. Cut a line, loosen a bolt, something to have me stall out during the race. But this weren't a sabotage. This was making damn sure I didn't even make it to the starting line. Someone who had heard I was going to be on the track and decided they couldn't take the risk. Wanted me out before I ever revved the damn engine. I tried to find a replacement, but it was too late. Vapor pressure regulators are like soul injectors. Each one is precisely tuned for the make of the engine, and they're hard as hell to come by. Couldn't find one in time. Watched that race start without me. I was pissed to say the least. But I knew that regulator had to be around somewhere. No thief worth their weight in shits keeps it whole for very long. Check the scrappers exchange. The auction listing. And guess what was for sale just a few hours before the race? My fucking regulator. Needless to say, I lost it. I'd been keeping it together for far too long just to get fucked like this. Stormed the place I did. Turned half the exchange upside down looking for the bastard who stole it. That's when the blister man showed up. Looked at me like I was the problem. Told me to walk it off. Said it was just business and I should have secured me property better. I told him he was a dead man walking if he didn't tell me who sold it. Guess he didn't like that too much. Before I could even get my hands on him, Blister Man called the Red Caps. I killed 2 of them before they finally dogpiled me. Then they shackled me and dumped me back here. Heard I lost my war machine too. Red Caps told me a bloke I was renting the garage from sold it. That's just how it works in Fort Knucklebones. You don't get justice. You don't get peace. You get a branding iron and a work order.
You know the betting odds of those others you're supposed to race against.
He doesn't remember particularly.
Remember any one name?
He remembers that Raga Draga was gonna play second, probably. Maybe the Iron Fang's third, maybe.
Ever heard of a break and take supply?
No, can't say I have. You said you think you got the name of the bastard who did this.
Well,
Name of a lackey.
It's got me thinking. There's something I remember. Wasn't thinking too clearly at the time. Too pissed off to see straight, but I've had some time to think since then. I remember seeing a soot pipe on the ground under me rig when I noticed the regulator was stolen. That stupid bastard must have dropped it while he was working on my machine. I should have known only a cock-brained soot sucker would use a crowbar to take out a vapor pressure regulator.
The Jackers?
It's soot. Soot head junkie. I used to move soot back in the day. Know a thing or two about the market. Know the kind of lowlifes that crawl through it. If you're looking to find that thieving rat, my guess is that he's got a bad habit, and I know where he might be feeding it. The Victory Yard and Ashfinger. If I were him, and I just did a big job, I'd be trying to hide out for a little while. Buy a fix, fade out of sight. The Victory Yard is a perfect place for it. It's a soot sucker's paradise. He is implying that soot is a type of drug, by the way.
Yeah, it sounds like a hard narcotic, not like tobacco or alcohol or something.
Yeah. Do you ask him about it? He can tell you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like, what does soot do to you?
It's made from the residue left over when a soul gets incinerated. They scrape it out from the insides of engines, refine it down and turn it into the nastiest fix you've ever tried. They usually snort it, but you could smoke it, eat it, shove it up your ass. Don't really matter how you take it. It'll crawl up your spine and make you feel like a goddamn war machine. But it don't last. That's why they hang around old scrapyards and junk piles, always scratching parts for another taste.
Is there anything we can do? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's a hell of a lead.
I was just gonna say, is there anything we can do to repay you for this information? Anything we can do to?
He waves his hand at you. And then he thinks for a minute. I earned that war machine. Built my way out of this hellhole. And somebody ripped it away from me. Just like everybody else, they thought I was just another soul bound for the furnace. That don't sit right with me. So if you do find the race rat that did this, you remind them who the fuck I am.
We can do that.
He's going to kneel down. Since he's kind of been looking down at all of you. He's much taller than basically everybody. Even Ophelia, he's like a little taller than Ophelia. He's very big. And he will sort of lean down to you guys and he'll say, I do got my suspicions, though. Can't say I know it for sure, but I got this feeling that the Blister Man has something to do with all this. He's got his scabby fingers in every deal that matters around here. Parts move when he says they move. Debts get paid when he signs the paperwork. You think someone's rigging races without him knowing? I don't think so. Nothing big moves through the exchange without his ugly mark on it. Either he's in on it or he's not doing anything about it. Either way, seems to me like someone with real weight is playing the game.
What can we even do about it if we find out who it is?
He shrugs.
Just scrappers out down here.
He shrugs and stands up again, rolls his shoulders some more, trying to keep cool.
Well, thank you for your help at least.
Yep. Anything else? A year, maybe less. I'll be out again. Got a life sentence for killing those redcaps. But that ain't my first life sentence. Hell, ain't even my fifth. I just got put in the time, all the wait, and wait till the warden decides I've had enough lashings to earn a spot in the death race. And when he does, I'll be free again. You know what they say. The brazen bull's never lost a race he's run.
Are there other ways to get you out? Bail, perhaps.
Fuck no. Absolutely not.
Also, we couldn't afford it.
Even if it was a thing.
Yeah, that's the thing is the way the furnace works is pretty punishing. It is essentially slavery, right? Like it's not even like fair work.
Like
it's
indentured.
yeah. Like you don't get really much of a choice. The death race is your only way out, unless you serve your whole sentence.
Well, I'll see you on the other side of this then.
He
once we
nods.
Get out.
He'll
I think.
pick up his big ass iron drum.
Yep, we'll head out unless anybody else has anything.
That's all we needed to know.
Awesome. So you guys get escorted by Clem back out of the lift station. Is there anything else you wanted to do?
Just get wherever there's the least amount of eyes on us.
So we can.
For sure. You guys walk away from the gate, and as you do, Clem is telling his buddy everything.
Awesome.
Okay. You get away from the gates and stuff. You can talk amongst yourself.
So I know starting fights gets you thrown in the furnace. Does finishing them do that too?
Says no fighting. I just don't know what we're gonna do once we figure this thing out, if we even do. I'm just a scrapper. I can't go up against somebody like these higher ups.
There's a certain level of law and order in this place. And we're talking about meeting with Mad Maggie, perhaps, if we can raise enough notoriety in a death race. I wonder how she would feel about, someone bending the rules to their own benefit at the expense of others. Maybe she has something to say about it, but that's all we can do.
I'm inclined to believe that this is a personal project of the man in the long coat. And yeah, Mad Maggie probably doesn't know about it.
Well, and I pull the part out again. I've got the evidence to back it if we want to. If we get to the end of the race, I think she would. I think she'd listen to us.
This might be bending the rules a little bit, but I don't recall seeing no kidnappings on that law list of yours. We find this hitch, we convince him to take a little bit of a payout in the back of the Magpie's garage, and maybe he stays there for a few days.
I mean, we know how to get him. How much soot can we afford? I assume you can't do drugs, Gunner, so you probably don't know.
That is correct, but do I even know how much it would cost?
Not even a fucking clue. Do any of us know how much crack costs? Right? You see what I mean? Like, if you ask me how much meth is, I could not fucking tell you.
I just kept picturing like the Always Sunny in Philadelphia title credits. The gang tries drugs in hell.
I mean, that's one way to do it. We could try to find something like that and weed him out.
He was so Gentle was basically explaining that the Victory Yard in Ashfinger is basically like a Sootsucker's paradise. So you could probably buy some there too if you ask the right people.
Yeah. So I think maybe we buy some soot, find this guy, and are like, hey, we know a garage where you can do all the soot you want for the next 6 days.
Would I
So
say
we-
anything about this plan? Like, the rules don't say anything about entrapment, basically, like
I
trapping
don't
this
think
dude.
it's entrapment. I just want to try to get a witness to present our case to
Yeah.
Mad Maggie with. You know, like
Okay.
if we go there, like we have this grand conspiracy,
Sure.
and here's the guy that did the deed for Blister Man.
Also, if the Redcaps don't know anything, what good are the rules?
Yeah.
Who is that guy? The dog?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We need another one of those. And there's no
Mhm.
east way to put him in.
God, I love the dog.
Is he still in the prison cell we put him in?
And it's told Bing to release him.
We cut back to the dog, and he is once still now out and selling fake
I
art.
mean, the pendant.
I
Can't go
put
in there.
Only I can go in there. It's my personal space. I'm not putting it.
Oh, only he can go in there.
Unless he's a corpse.
Tannis, yeah.
I like how Tannis is like, I don't like vigilante justice, guys. But what if we kidnap this guy and put him in a garage and
I'm
torture him
not
for
saying
6 days?
kidnapping. I'm
until he-
saying we get a witness and put him in
Yeah.
witness protection for a few days.
Witness
Yeah,
protection.
forced witness. I
Yeah.
understand.
Forced witness.
Forced, bound, and gagged.
We're
witness
gonna
protection.
subpoena him, all right? Like it's totally normal.
This is well within the bounds of law to take a witness and put them in witness protection.
Right, by enticing them with drugs. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, that sounds exactly like how it goes around here.
So we're going in under the guise of Annex then to root out our friend. Is that the plan?
No, I think we go in the guise of people who want to buy. I mean, like, I don't think we need a guise. I think they'll sell to anybody with money.
Probably true.
So we buy this soot, and then
Try a
we
little
basically offer it to him for free, and then kidnap him. Am I getting this right?
Did you
I
hear the
mean-
description, London, of what it is? It's the residue of a burned soul.
I mean, you guys have already been drinking rusty beer, and all of the alcohols described last episode sounded.
This is the fantasy equivalent of meth addicts taking catalytic converters.
Yes, it is.
Bath salts.
However, we also have like some higher ups that have their fingers in it for some reason. They're not just doing it for no reason. Do we head to Ashfinger now?
Might as well have the lead.
We should find this Hitch guy before he disappears permanently. I feel
Yeah.
like we've tipped
That's
our
true.
hand.
Do we think Hitch is this drug addict, the one and the same?
Probably.
Probably.
I mean, it's also equally as likely they go through like burner lackeys.
Can everybody roll me a history check real quick? I want to connect them dots.
Let's go!
Or it's like if they're hiring some random nobody, I assume they're just hiring random nobodies every time. Otherwise, they just use like an agent who's good at their job to do this.
Okay, Gunner.
Mhm.
You will recall looking at the transactions of Hitch. Check out the first two.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
Oh. Oh. The vapor pressure regulator?
Yep.
Is that what we're
Something
talking
that
about?
Gentle just said he had
Yeah,
stolen.
yeah.
All right, so Hitch is our guy.
Hitch has to be our guy.
Nice.
How the Blister Man's involved with this. I don't know or why he's involved with this, but we can cross that bridge when we get there.
I mean, Hitch certainly seems to be the pawn in all this, but
Well, I mean, like that imp at the at Blackfinger said, like a lot of money moves in these races, and so it makes sense that the person with the most to lose would put their
That's
finger
true.
on the scale.
That's true.
Yeah, we're talking about like a cornerstone of the economy.
Yeah.
he's so fun
right.
to break one episode just for the walls.
Okay. All right. So the plan is we're gonna head to Ashfinger.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Go ahead.
I'm imagining we have been like walking kind of towards that way as
Sure.
we're talking. So
Yeah. Okay. So you guys exit out of Blackfinger proper and head towards Ashfinger. And that is where we will end the session for tonight. So thank you all so much for watching. And we will see you all in the next dive into the descent. Stay sharp. Farewell, adventurers.
Farewell.
Farewell,
adventurers.
adventurers.